You will recall on the day of her death, Laura Palmer wrote the following entry in her diary. Nervous about meeting Jay tonight. Today, we're going to concentrate on the Jays.
Everywhere I go on this island, it seems to me I find degeneracy.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes. It's a lot scarier than that.
I caught him, Sheriff. Wait, who is that? Billy Loomis. Sir?
Pardon me, I'm Loomis, Dr. Sam Loomis.
I think our friend Sam Loomis didn't know that Marion was here.
Oh, Sam, I hate having to be with you in a place like this.
Mankind is made up of inferior creatures, spiritually and physically deformed, who would have corrupted the harmony of my perfect body.
Through watching scenes of violence, through watching scenes of transgression, through watching scenes of horror. There's an enormous amount of sort of abattoir of excess.
Guys, what do you think it's going to involve Hawk?
We all go a little mad sometimes.
It's a rescue mission. You'll love it. There's some juicy
audience members.
We have to rescue from their
super chats.
favorite duty.
Dumbass comments.
Well, good evening, everybody. We're back for episode 150 of Double Feature Horror Show. I thought I'd work up something a little special for you tonight. A little special. So everyone catching it live, I hope you enjoyed that. If you missed a little bit, just go backwards. Treat yourselves, and everyone watching on the rewatch, who I finally remember to greet. Hi, guys. I hope you enjoyed that too. That appears to have been appreciated. You know, Dollface, absolutely could not agree more. There needs to be a new start, frankly. Oh well. Did you enjoy that, Haryan?
I enjoyed that very much. Who does your music mixing? It was very good.
Oh, that was me.
Together.
That was me.
Well done. Sorry, I don't know why I assumed someone else did it. You've got a lot of talent.
Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind. I should specify the most up-to-date version. The backing track for that was mixed by TCG himself.
There we go. So, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the looping between the Twilight Zone theme and Eminem's Bad Guy. That's was it Bad Guy?
It was.
It was Bad Guy. Yeah,
it was.
Oh, since you're butting, I should do the proper introductions. It is episode 150. We have got a special number, and so I thought we'd get the crew back together. Murgoot, who absolutely deserves to be in here, having survived the entire horror anthology mega arc that we finished last week, that we had been doing since January 2023. Absolutely deserves to be here, but sadly cannot be. But he was very much asked, and hope you get on the mend soon, Murgoot. But obviously, for a special occasion, we do like to bring back one of the OGs, and it's your boy Haryan.
Hello.
And a very busy week you've got at the moment, Haryan. Do you want to tell people about it?
I do. Tuesday, I was streaming on. Well, it used to be the Wellington Project. We changed it to the Worcester Club because I think with events in the near future, it's probably going to be better to not be as overtly political. Anyway,
I heard you're putting out a topless calendar called Worcester Sauce. Is that correct?
Yes, and that is going to be very spicy. So,
lovely.
An eye out for that.
Tasha's February.
Good lord. But yeah, we we do weekly streams there. Every 2 weeks, it's a kind of standard newscast, but every other week, it's a topic on whatever the audience votes on. So it happened to be, is Gen Z to be blamed for the competency crisis? And Too Long Didn't Read, we all basically said, nah, they are kind of incompetent, but it's not really their fault. So you can listen to that 2-hour discussion over on the Worcester Club. Yesterday, I was on Tailed Feature Stream on Regional Variations, as I always am, and we just take the mickey out of absolutely everything there. That is just top bants. So head over there. Today it's here to review a film that I felt a mullet growing as I was watching this film, so that was fun. But,
it's cool again now. You know, it's that or the broccoli haircut. What are you going to go for?
God, I think I'd rather just shave my hair. But then tomorrow it's Laughing at the Guardian at 8 o'clock again. And then I'm not going to do much on the internet this weekend because I've done enough. And then obviously there's the standard videos that I do. It's mostly covering the election and it's all very boring. Still, go over there and try and make it fun for me. Please.
Are you planning an overnight stream? Maybe can you feel the overnight stream?
That is a good point. Yeah, I've taken the day after off work, and I will be streaming basically until I just want to die on election night. So yeah, I mean, for now the idea is just I'm gonna, it's kind of an open bar. Everyone's kind of invited, and we'll just be in mine and Tash's Discord on the stream thing, the streaming channel, just to chat about how everything's going to be awful, but at the same time, try and have some fun with it. Won't be as fun as last time with the Bojo win, which was very fun, but we'll try and make fun of it. And yes, Don the Pleb is on tomorrow. Thank you for saying Mergut. That's kind of the big guest. The other two are pretty nameless, but
and he will turn up, unlike that shifty leaf that you keep trying to.
Oh, I've given up on Dev. Like, I'll probably try him again at some point.
What is this? What is this, chat? Are you thirsty already, chat?
That was the second one. Oh, they are in need of a drink.
Three here. Already thirsting for Mr. Chainbound, oily sax guy. Oh dear.
Good Lord.
Oh my goodness, but I mean that was a shock for me. But before we go for that, by the way, enjoy the poll, people. Vote in the poll. We like the poll.
That's fun.
And
oh goodness me.
And before we go further, thank you for that, Haryan. He's true on crime, true on the causes of crime. It's TCG.
Hey. Hello, everyone.
I
how you doing?
It up.
Okay, I have no idea what that's in reference to.
What?
You do crime. You do crime.
No, I do crime, but normally it's normally like a song reference. I don't know what the song reference is. And mind you, you say I do crime, but let's be honest. When was the last time I uploaded a true crime video?
Fair play. That it's a Tony Blair slogan.
Oh, don't remind me. I met the guy.
Oh yes, you could feel the evil pulsating.
Yep.
You met him and survived.
Met him and survived, and somewhere there is a photo with me and Cherie Blair.
Oh.
I'll never forget that face. The wide smile. And she looked at me and said, "What's your name?" And I gave her my name. And she was like, "Oh, you're going to be Prime Minister one day."
Said, if they have your name, they can take your soul. That's gypsy magic.
Yep.
Out of interest, did she have a grotesque mouth that made you feel uncomfortable if she ate a dinner plate?
Actually did make me feel uncomfortable. I'm not joking. It is.
Sauron.
You know how they say the camera adds 10 pounds?
Yeah.
Well, in her case, the camera removes 10 inches.
Oh no.
10 inches of
dear,
what?
dear.
10 inches of smile.
Oh wow. Amazing.
Also, mullet gang.
How is the poll going? Mullet is winning by quite a way.
Easily.
Mullet is smashing it. Although, mind you, actually, I got a new PC last week, and I've been spending the last. Yeah, I can actually game now, Haryan. Can you believe it?
Oh my god!
I can actually play PC games, which means I might actually have more efficient streams. But now I've said that. But yeah, so I am kind of getting the itch to get on with it again. and I was looking up another case which I actually wanted to cover a while ago and never got round to, which was the God, what are their names? Do you know what? They were known as the Screen Killers. I'll just say.
Oh, those guys!
Oh my God! Yeah, we just killed Cassie. Yep, those guys.
Nice.
If you go on YouTube, you can actually find someone's uploaded all of the VHS footage that they recorded. I think it's like 33 minutes.
Is that it? Wow.
Yeah. Well, you know,
no effort.
Depressing. And
another thing I have been doing is I have been watching Buffy as well. I've been back on the Buffy train watching that. And
no way.
I've never seen that.
Oh my days! You need to watch it. I've just got up to the point Horror Show where Angel has turned.
Sweet.
Yeah. Which is peak TV in my opinion.
My goodness, there's got to be something in the air. Like another very good friend of the show is currently working her way through Buffy. Young Poe is equating herself with the events in Sunnydale. I love it. I'm here for it.
All I'm going to say is a teenage me wouldn't mind working my way through Buffy either. So
of the OGs, Willow, Cordelia, Buffy, Miss Calendar. Are you a Miss Calendar guy?
Miss Calendar. Oh, I'm all of them.
Darla.
I'm all of them.
Good taste. Good taste.
Even the girl who played Rita in Dexter, she was in an episode.
Yeah, Darla. You love to see it.
Oh yeah, it's all good.
I was a bit of an obsessive, and my goodness, I thought of Buffy a lot watching this film. So we should probably get onto it because Super Nanny was mightily tested by us last week in a 3-hour special. I'll try and be more efficient. I'll certainly not let generous super chats go unanswered. Patrick Batman, thank you very much, kicking us off with £5. Very much appreciated. Saying, fun fact, Corey Haim had a real encounter with a real vampire. The vampire's name was Charlie Sheen, and it was on the set of the film Lucas. Charlie Sheen, an interesting fellow. I looked a little bit into the Corey Feldman backstory, and that is, I know there's some darkness there. There's some darkness.
Oh my God.
In fact, wasn't it Lucas was the film that got Corey Haim cast, I believe? It was. Yeah. The NREAB was very generous and pointed out a good little video if you want to know about the making of The Lost Boys, all that production history. I'm going to drop it here now. So get this in your sort of to watch later pile. If you want those details, but I'll just drop it while I remember. If you want, that's where I got some information that I found quite interesting. But thank you so much for kicking us off, Patrick Batman, £5. Very much appreciated. And people voting for Willow, good taste. That was my choice back in the day. Christina Hendricks was in an episode of Angel. I know her from Firefly. Which Angel episode was she in?
Just before you continue, when because I think it was the last episode I watched of Buffy, Xander casts a spell to try and make Cordelia fall madly in love with him. And in a nutshell, cover your ears, mate. And it backfired. And there is a scene with Willow, and all I'm going to say is she's very underrated.
Oh yeah, oh yes, indeed.
And it kind of amazes me how like this sort of stuff was okay back in the day.
It's a bit of a feisty episode.
Given the target demographic at the time, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, there we go. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah,
there we go. All right, a very good suggestion from Mima. I have pinned the excellent video by good. So I can't say it. Good Bad Flicks. Cecil did a good episode on the making of The Lost Boys. Although I would also really recommend you watch Cecil's video on Cat's Eye. I think that's one of his better bits of work, but I will move on. Good suggestion. And I need to know which Christina Hendricks episode of Angel that was for research. But moving on, just so we don't do another 3 hours, I thought we'd have a little bit of fun since we're all here. And Angels season 1, episode 15. That strikes me. That might be. Is it she or her? The one with Biling? I could be wrong. If it is, then I'm far too big an Angel nerd. All right. There's hunger for the oily sax player. Before we do the oily sax player, that is a good cat in the avatar, by the way. We all appreciate a cat. We'll have a bit of fun. I thought game show time. Yeah. How about a little bit of spooky Mastermind?
Oh, Vincent.
It's Vincent Price.
Yeah.
Yes. Go on, spook my tits off.
I will. Oh, The Prodigal. The episode is The Prodigal. That also stars a young Jeremy Renner. All right, who is up first? We're going to have rounds of 90 seconds each.
Oh, 90 seconds.
Interesting.
And you can pass, and I'll do all the usual Mastermind things. 90-second round, etc. Yeah, we all know it. We've all seen David Lammy on this. We know how it works.
I forgot he was on this.
All right, I'm going to go, Harry, and you can go first.
Fine, pressure. Go on.
All right. For the purpose of this entirely rigged, let's take the seat, make yourself comfy. Just tell me when.
I'm scared.
All right.
Okay, I'm tied up. Right, carry on.
All right. And Harry, and what is your specialist subject?
Rocks.
That's really unfortunate because I've only got horror questions here.
Oh, that's a shame.
Okay. We will
Go on.
start your questions. Wait, have you got this one? Okay, right. We'll start your questions now. Which studio produced Roger Corman's Poe-cycle films?
Blumhouse. I don't know. Pass.
AIP.
Right.
Which 1997 slasher has a legacy sequel coming out next year?
Scream.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Okay.
What was the sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer called?
I Know What You Did Next Summer.
I still know what you did last summer.
Oh, I was close.
What was the sequel to that called?
This.
I'll always know what you did last summer. You're picking up a theme, right?
All right, okay.
Which excellent horror movie starred Christopher Eccleston, Ewan McGregor, Kerry Fox, and Keith Allen?
Star Wars the Horror. Pass.
Shallow Grave.
Okay.
Which actor played the lead in the original The Fly?
Jeff Goldblum.
The original The Fly.
No, I don't know. I never watched it, did I?
Vincent Price.
Okay.
And who played the lead in the remake of The Fly?
Jeff Goldblum.
It was Jeff Goldblum.
Hey.
Rate Scream 6 out of 12.
5.
Okay.
I've never actually
And
seen it.
I've started, so I'll finish. What was the name of Brian Yuzna's H.P. Lovecraft anthology film?
Call of Cthulhu. I have no idea. No.
That was a bit brutal. It was Necronomicon from 1940.
I probably should have guessed that, to be fair.
See, man, this is why you should have never left. You should have never left.
Yeah,
you would have at least got 2.
I mean,
No worries.
Yeah.
No worries. So that's a correct one on Goldblum.
I'll take
and I'll allow the 2 points. I'll allow 5 out of 12. I was hoping for a 1 or a 2, but
oh my god! Why not just call me retarded?
I'll allow. I realise that the nature of this one is less easy to participate in chat. Maybe chat. Maybe I think I've got the latency set too high on this to actually ask you chat. But no mind. Okay, so TCG, you have a score of 2 to beat.
Oh god! Right, you watch. I'm going to screw this up now, big time.
Oh, actually, do you want to switch over to... Oh, I'll do you, TCG, and then we'll switch over. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. Your 90-second round of Spooky Mastermind starts now. Which 1965 horror anthology featured Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, and Donald Sutherland?
Pass.
David Bowie starred in which mega gay vampire movie?
Pass.
Which Destiny's Child star called Freddy Krueger a faggot in Freddy vs. Jason?
Kelly Rowland.
Yes, it was Kelly Rowland. Which classic horror film has a 50th anniversary re-release this year?
Halloween.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh!
How many humans were incorporated into the Centipede in Human Centipede Part 2?
It was... Oh my god. We're talking double... I'm going to say 12.
Correct.
Oh, nice.
What was the name of Eli Roth's 2013 cannibal movie?
Oh god, I only really know him for Hostel. The Hills of Eyes.
The Green Inferno. Who is this?
That is... Oh my god. Why is his name left in my head? Josh Hartnett.
Correct. And I've started, so I'll finish. Name any director for any segment of the Twilight Zone movie.
Oh my god. Oh my word.
Oh, Jess Franco got TCM. Well done. Jess Franco, you're killing it. Dr. Terror, correct?
I've got no idea.
Oh, I didn't even give you the answer to that. Yeah, it was Dr. Terror's House of Horrors. And correct on The Hunger.
I'm going to say... I'll say Spielberg. I don't know. Oh.
Correct.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He directed the segment with Scatman Crothers.
Oh, which one was that?
Is Scatman Crothers goes into the nursing home and everyone becomes young again?
Oh my god, yes, of course he did. Yes. Oh, I love that one.
Yeah. How do we feel about that one?
Okay, I'm happy. I think I got more than Haryan, so I'm happy with that.
I think that was 5.
5? Yeah,
I think it's 5. That's pretty good.
I will take that. Which ones did I get wrong? Or did I pass on?
Okay, so let's go through. So the 1965 horror anthology with Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, and Donald Sutherland. Donald Sutherland is a giveaway, and that tells you it's Dr. Terror's House of Horrors.
Oh my god! I knew it had the word house in it. I knew it had the word house in it.
No worries.
I was...
David Bowie starred in The Hunger. Very gay. There are women kissing and everything.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I know.
Sacrilegious.
You got the Freddy versus Jason question. It was indeed Kelly Rowland. I was hoping I would catch Haryan with that. I wanted the Who's Destiny's Child. I really did. Never mind. Which classic horror film was a 50th anniversary re-release? It was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I would have probably given you Black Christmas as well, but I don't know if anyone is actually re-releasing it. They should, because it's wonderful.
Indeed.
Humans in the Centipede in 12. Human Centipede. Yeah, you got that right. The name of Eli Roth's 2013 cannibal movie was Green Inferno.
Right.
Which 1991 Wes Craven horror did Jordan Peele buy the rights to remake? That was The People Under the Stairs, and he's had those rights for about 7 or 8 years now and has done nothing with them. And I hope he doesn't. There's a really nice cameo from Marcellus Wallace himself. Ving Rhames in that movie.
Oh.
It's an odd one, but what can I say? And then I skipped a bunch of questions so I could show you Josh Hartnett. I found topless photos of him, but they're a bit low res.
I honestly don't know why his name escaped me for that moment. It was like, I think it's because I was under pressure. I was like, no!
Oh, it happens to the best of us.
Ugh.
Chat has got the others. John Landis, Joe Dante. Chat, there is one more missing if you remember, guys. If you get one more from that, and then you've got all the Twilight Zone directors. All right, good. Well, I also asked you to prepare me some questions.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Harrian, do you want to grill me? Like, you can show. It's easy to set the questions. It's a heck of a lot harder to answer them.
That is true. And even if you don't make it to question 15, I'm going to ask it you when it's over because I want to hear your answer.
Okay.
All right. So you sat down, watch your specialist subject. Don't care. We're going ahead. Right. 3, 2, 1. What 2014 horror film is based on the alleged true story of the Perrin family's haunting in Rhode Island?
Oh, The Conjuring?
Yes. In the 1975 film Jaws, what is the name of the shark hunter played by Robert Shaw?
Quint?
Yep. In the 2004 film Shaun of the Dead, what weapon does the main character use to fight zombies?
He uses a gun at one point, but it's not the main weapon, is it? Pass.
Okay. In Jeepers Creepers, the creeper rises every how many years to feed?
Oh, 27.
Nope, 23. In which
Damn
states
it.
does the Blair Witch Project take place? Which state?
Gah, I don't know. Pass.
Okay. What year was the first Saw movie released?
2003.
Okay. Hannibal. No, it's 2004. Hannibal Lecter is one of the serial killers in Silence of the Lambs. Who is the other?
That will be Buffalo Bill.
Correct. What title is Danny crowned in Midsummer?
Oh gosh, darn it! Queen of the Spring?
No, it's May Queen. Which city were Alex and his classmates flying to when he had a disturbing premonition on the plane in Final Destination?
Paris.
Yes, I've started, so I'll finish. Which horror movie isn't based on a book? Frankenstein, Bird Box, Interview with a Vampire, or A Quiet Place?
A Quiet Place.
Correct. Right.
Wow.
I think you only got 2 wrong there. Or was it 3, 4? No, it's 4 wrong.
I'm kicking myself over Saw.
Yeah, that was 7. Which ones did you pass?
What was the Shaun of the Dead one?
That was a cricket bat.
Oh, darn it.
You passed another one. I can't remember which one it was. May Queen. You passed 2, didn't you?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Conjuring, you got Quinn, you got cricket bat. You didn't get 23 years. Blair Witch Project. That was it. Maryland.
I could have said Burkittsville, but Maryland, I did not have.
But my last question, which was the hard one, was in Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, apart from Garbage Day, what are the 2 other things Ricky says when he's firing the revolver?
What does he say? No.
So he calls the first guy Mother Effer after shooting him, and then he shoots the car and shouts bingo.
It's burned into your mind, isn't it?
Because it's the funniest moment I think I've ever had from one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
That's brilliant.
Your thread going through it as you realise it's not just a quick recap.
Yeah,
it's the whole damn movie.
I am so glad that Twitter account's gone forever now, so I'm so glad it's forever etched into this channel's history.
You can probably find we may have actually just gone through it on screen.
We did. So that's what I mean. So
yes,
it's archived.
Excellent. I'm kicking myself over a few of those, but all right, lovely.
Really well. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's not over yet, though. It's not over yet.
Let's go for it, TCG.
I've got 15 for you as well. Okay,
All
so
right.
90 seconds. Are you ready?
Okay. So it's got to end. Yes, Harrian, can you see anything to time it?
I've got it. I've got a timer set up.
All right. If you got a timer, fantastic.
All right. Okay. Your time. Are you ready? Yeah. You ready? Yep.
I'm ready. I'm fired up. Let's do it.
All right. Your time starts now. What is the name of the possessed girl in The Exorcist?
Reagan.
Yeah, I'll take that. What is the name of the demon in the 2013 film The Conjuring?
No clue.
Okay. Bathsheba. Which horror film takes place on a spaceship called the Nostromo?
Alien.
Correct. What is the name of the cannibalistic family in the 1974 film The Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Sawyer. They're the Sawyer family.
Correct. What 2015 horror film features a supernatural being that follows its victims until they pass the curse on to someone else?
2013.
2015.
2015. It Follows.
Oh.
Correct. What 1987 vampire film features the tagline "Sleep all day, party all night, never grow old, never die"?
Would it be The Lost Boys?
It would be The Lost Boys. What 2002 Japanese horror film is about a haunted apartment building?
Oh, Dark Water?
Correct. Who directed the 1985 horror movie comedy Reanimator?
It's not Brian Yuzna. It's the other guy. No, darn it. We've done his stuff so much. Stuart Gordon.
Correct. What? Oh, wait, I've started, so I'll finish. There you go. What 1973 British horror film features a cult on a remote island and a police officer investigating a missing girl?
Oh, The Wicker Man.
It is indeed.
50 years old. 50 years old last year. Oh,
there you go. So you got 9 questions asked, 8 out of 9. Bathsheba is the correct answer to the demon, the name of the demon in The Conjuring.
Yes. I've only seen that the once.
I'm gonna give you a bonus question just because I'm intrigued as to whether you know it or not. You probably do.
Go for it.
In the 2002 film, 28 Days Later, what causes the outbreak of a deadly virus?
It's the rage virus released by a bunch of do-gooding vegan hippies who invade David Schneider's lab and release a bunch of monkeys.
I'll take that. I will take that. It was.
You ever find it weird you see David Schneider show up and stuff? Like he was in Mission Impossible.
That's right. The train
driver.
That's right. Yeah. I was watching that the other day, funnily enough.
Really?
Yeah. I'm trying to go through it all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's established you are the horror guru, and we.
Wow, proper horror show one. I'm shocked.
I know, right? I know.
I am a nerd, guys. You know, I'm far less balanced. Oh dear, I'm chuffed. I liked it.
Yeah,
I think Spooky Mastermind can join our roster of game shows alongside. I mean, how do you rate it alongside Play Your Stars Right? And
Play Your Stars Right is top notch for me. Did you do Blockbusters as well? You did.
I didn't. I did only Correct, which was our copyright safe version of Only Connect.
Sure.
I think I was on for that one. I can't remember.
I like that. I want to do more of those. It's just thinking of the questions is really hard in that. Yeah, all right. Well, it's 30 minutes into a stream about the Lost Boys. I did put something in the title saying we're doing other stuff, so hopefully people will be okay.
Isn't that good to start the film analysis half an hour in? That's a good time for us, isn't it?
That's actually quite a record, yeah.
Yeah, we're cutting it short. I mean, by EFAP schedules, this is positively peppy.
In EFAP standards, this is the equivalent of a YouTube short.
True. Are we getting spooky catchphrase? Ooh.
Bit of Roy Walker.
Yeah. Oh gosh, if I can use AI, then yes. All right.
Janet still wants that sax player.
Good God. Janet's trying to get moist. My God.
Right. I'm ending the poll before we go further. It's 73% of people said the mullet was the best choice for you, Harry. But 26% reckons the broccoli is the way to go. Oh, Michael Myers, Play Your Cards Fright.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. We shall move on. We really should move on. That was fun silliness. All right. I will get us started. So, I didn't do my own shilling. I'll keep it really quick. Folks, if you like what I do here, you know how YouTube works. You can support this channel by super chat. You can join as a member either here or on Subscribestar. And if you do that, I am able to reward you back by giving you access to exclusive content and early access So yesterday I just released for members the film commentary for Drag Me to Hell that I did with Poe the Person. We are big Poe fans around here. So fantastic to have her on. That was really fun to do. More of those upcoming. And and if you join at the top tier, well, definitely, but I do try and for every tier, give people a film of their own, do a stream on a film of your request. So that's how I like to pay you back when you support the channel. That is all the shilling, you know, all the stuff. So we will now move forward and talk about The Lost Boys. Haryan, this was a first encounter for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd never even heard of this film.
Oh, okay.
At all. And yet, watching it, it feels like pretty much every single Simpsons Treehouse of Horror is inspired from it in some way. I mean, obviously, the one where Mr. Burns is a vampire is very... it's obviously a Dracula spoof, but then seems to turn quickly into a Lost Boys spoof. And I enjoy it. So... and as I said before, yeah, I could feel my mullet growing during this. And I ended up listening to a load of Hall & Oates and what's he called, Nick Kershaw music after I finished it.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, mate. I had a massive urge to watch Funhouse after watching this.
It was a whole lot of fun.
Prizes to be won.
It's a very crazy show.
Very 80s, this film.
I just thought I'd get the sax player on now. I know that the thirst is there, so I think you can enjoy him oily bulge and all, you know.
Yeah, it was around this point that I really wanted to watch Funhouse, especially for that sax solo.
Goodness. Yeah, TCG, you're familiar with this one though?
Vaguely, yeah. I watched it donkeys years ago, and so it was one of those where I was like sort of coming back into it, almost blind again. But yeah, man, this film is just quintessential 80s. Like, if you were to sort of, if you were to sort of have a stereotypical view of the 80s, this film absolutely it just highlights every sort of aspect of that decade.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's quite remarkable. Really, like stylistically, fashion-wise, music-wise, look-wise, it really stands out. I'll throw myself in the mix here. This was, as far as I'm concerned, a first watch for me. I think I may have caught the end once. But this was so long ago, I don't remember. So I think this is basically a fresh watch for me. I'm very aware of this having big cultural cachet, definitely being a cult hit. When I was in London, there was a cinema that basically just did re-showings, well, for the most part. And The Lost Boys was regularly in the rotation, along with, you know, your Rocky horrors, your Rocky marathons, which one is it? John Hughes teen sleepover movie stuff. The Lost Boys got a lot of love in that place, and that tells you something has got cult appeal. And when I put the poll up for this, this was Mergoot's suggestion, by the way.
Okay.
This won handsomely. There was like no competition here. There was 58% of you voted for this, and the other 4 movies had to just scrap amongst themselves. I was almost disappointed, but Vox Populi, Vox Dei. But despite being an aficionado, I hadn't seen it. I know Fright Night. I love that, obviously. And that maybe has got a bit more prestige, but the real cult favorite might be this. Might just be this. Interesting beginnings to it, and possibly explain something I found hard to gauge, which was the tone of this.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yep, it's a very. It was originally written, basically, think Home Alone with vampires, or The Goonies but with vampires, and that's how it was pitched. And that makes a lot of sense. When I was watching the credits, just names were standing out to me. Richard Donner is the main one. And the reason for that is he directed The Omen, which was the first film I ever bought and my first horror film I fell in love with. I also saw producer Bernard Herrmann, who produced The Omen as well. But they stand out to me. Donner was originally going to direct, and he certainly could have done it, but the production delayed it a bit, and so Joel Schumacher came in. Joel Schumacher wanted to change it a fair bit. For instance, he said he wanted to make it sexier, so let's make them teenagers. What did he mean by this?
Look, everyone remembers their teenage years.
Was he eating Haribos at the time?
I don't know. I'm just saying, when he took over the Batman franchise, suddenly Robin came in. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Who knows? Who knows?
Not on.
Joel Schumacher is an odd guy. Like, we definitely see his influence on this. Like, I don't know if you guys have an impression of Joel Schumacher, but I'm struck by him either doing like wild camp or really bizarrely dark and depressing. Like, this is the same guy who did Falling Down, A Time to Kill, and 8mm. He also did Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, this. What else am I thinking of that he did that was extremely camp? Basically, you get wild variety. This is obviously Camp Schumacher. And yes, he introduced the bat nipples.
He certainly did.
Do you have any stance on Schumacher?
He was a good driver.
Well, not a great skier. Oh.
I was just checking. I thought the house that they go to, and that most of the film is filmed at, I thought it looked very close to the house in House of a Thousand Corpses. So I just checked, and they're both filmed in California, but it's not the same house. I was like, oh. I thought I got a tidbit, but no, I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. Like the majority of those Mastermind questions.
Don't worry about it.
But my God, I mean, you talk about the tone of this film. I couldn't tell if it was trying to be the campest thing ever or one of the most serious vampire films about teenage vampires ever.
Yeah, it did seem very indecisive. Some of the dialogue was really weird as well. Like, they forget, it's like they forget. It's like they forget earlier scenes. Like, there's one where what's the older brother's name? Michael, yes.
They say it about 100 times in the film.
I know, and I still can't remember. It's amazing. But when he's obviously when he meets up with the vampire group, and they take him, they take Michael to their lair, and they give him obviously they go through the little bits with the noodles, and he ends up giving him the wine bottle, which of course has got blood in it, and the woman says to him, "You don't have to drink that, Michael. It's got blood in it." And he still drinks it anyway. Later on in the film, he's like, "Wait a minute,
it wasn't wine they gave me. It was blood.
It was blood." He's like, "You didn't work that out yourself, mate."
She
literally told you, you dumb.
Star just doesn't react to say like, "Yeah, I told you."
Yeah, I know. She was like, it's almost like, "Yeah, well done. You worked that out all by yourself. You have a pat, have a pat on the back."
Yeah. I mean, I think Star was very much rewritten in order to accommodate a casting change,
right?
To get Jamie Gertz in there. But yeah, I've got to say, I'm agreeing with a comment saying it was extremely camp. But for the other kind of comment, yes. I mean, this is Schumacher, Wikipedia, etc., etc. There are some interesting things that he couldn't help but include. For people who are not massive fans of him because of what he did with Time to Kill, there's one or two things I might point out to you here that were slipped in. You can feel free to call me entirely paranoid about it, though. Let's see. But this started off kind of strong for me.
Yeah, it started strong.
And then lost me hard for like another half hour.
Yeah, I completely agree. I sorry to interrupt, but the tone of this film for me was just all over the place. Yeah, because when it started, it seems very sort of, obviously you got the 80s music, you can't help but sound weird, but you know, it does kind of start serious and quite dark, and then out of nowhere it does that campiness does take over, and it does get a bit almost comedic. And also like things like the power levels of the vampires as well was very sort of up and down. It lacked pace and a sort of clear tone for me.
Yeah, that's very fair. Like, just to set out what I liked at the beginning, like I was won over. Great photography, like the night shot moving in over the water, seeing the boardwork looked great. When we got into the carousel scene, I thought we got some good symbolism. Basically, all the normies are moving, but they're kind of stuck in place. It's like they're not really alive. They're very passive. They're just being moved around. And then this gang of vampires are breaking the rules, man, and are free, breaking out of that system, that containment. I was like, that is some pretty nice symbolism.
It is.
Good stuff. Yeah. And then they're interrupted by this sort of extremely stereotypical cop. I'm like, okay. I think I see what we're getting at here. These guys really are truly alive. I thought that's kind of interesting, but then very shortly after that, for me, the film kind of just dies while it's trying to set up, and it's only later, like maybe 40 minutes in, when we get the scene of them hanging from the bridge, that I started to get what the vibe was.
Which was?
Kind of camp, knowing horror. It leaned a lot more on the comedy, basically.
Yeah.
Like it really was written for teens with a sense of melodrama. Once I got that, I could go with it, but it took me a long time to get there, when I was just thinking, what is going on here?
I really like the schizophrenic tone, to be honest.
Interesting.
Such a contrarian, man.
How do you? Tell us about how you found like that first block where they're just coming in, they're moving in. We just met the vampires. They've killed this guy. Tell us about that, Haryan.
Well, you still had your comic relief at the start of the film with the crazy grandpa, who is one of my favorite characters of the film, because all he does is try to go out and pull, and then I don't want to spot. Yeah, look at him. He's schizo. He's great. I wasn't the only one to get lucky tonight. Don't say that to your grandson.
Yeah, but my dude, why does he drive into his house at the end? There's literally no reason.
Because there's a vampire there.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah, I know, but it's funny.
We'll have to dissect this later. But can I just drop something about this guy that I found really interesting? He was originally going to be played by the guy behind Eddie Munster, Fred Gwynne, who we know best from Pet Sematary as Judd Crandall, the old guy. And I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting. But would they really go for that? And it makes sense, because before Joel Schumacher came on board, Mary Lambert was due to do this, direct this, but she had to drop out. Mary Lambert directed Pet Sematary and had only just worked with Fred Gwynne, so she probably wanted to just bring him over. And you see this a lot in the film. Like, a load of the people in this are people who were literally just shooting something with someone and brought them over. Like Jamie Gertz, who plays Star, was brought over because gosh darn it, Jason Patrick had just worked with her. I was like, she's good. We can use her. Cool. Anyway, sorry to derail. I found the Pet Sematary connection really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I took this film quite early on as this is where Treehouse of Horror got their inspiration, I imagine. Because it is a mixture of comedy and some serious bits. And, you know, a lot of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, they do try and raise stakes. It's the only episodes where, you know, the Simpsons can die.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, the ending, I was like, this is just straight out of the vampire. Well, no, the vampire episode of The Simpsons clearly just nicked this, where it's like Homer says, you have to kill the head vampire. You're the head vampire. Marge says, no, I'm the head vampire. Mom, well, I do have a life outside this house, you know. Obviously, with the spoiler alert, it's it's not who you think the head vampire is. So once I got that tone, which I got quite early with the grandpa, because I realized, there's going to be serious stuff with, you know, the mum's divorced, the kids are, you know, if you're going through a turbulent time of your life like that, and obviously both the protagonists are, I think it's good to have a schizophrenic tone like that, because it kind of sells it. Like, you're trying to find the funny parts in all, like, this part of your life while you're really sad and serious at the same time.
I guess
I
just
enjoyed.
I found it so difficult because they hit us with some really dark stuff early on, like
Murder Capital of the World.
Yeah, by the way, massive kudos to Joel Schumacher on this shot. You drive into Santa Carla and you see the bright image, and then you track around the side of the sign, and there's grimy underbelly. Lovely shot.
Yeah.
I've only selected a few of the crowd of people we see hanging around Santa Carla. Why is she licking a rat?
She's kissing it. Oh no, she's licking it. I don't know, drugs.
You ever licked a rat on drugs?
I've never been on drugs.
I bet he has. I bet he has many times.
Oof.
I've licked a lot of things on drugs.
I wish I could have clipped that for the intro.
Yeah.
We see a load of grimy stuff, like proper children in poverty, and it's okay, it's this kind of grim, and then we hit weird comedy very quickly as well. Like it's only like a few minutes after this that suddenly, where is he? Where's our boy? Oh gosh darn it! Suddenly we hit this guy. You know, it's a G.G. Allen in the left corner. He was a Christian apparently. I was looking at the trivia and people thought he was some kind of goth, and no, he was someone trying to be like a monk. If you're wondering about that guy, I'll get him up for you again just so you can appreciate him. But yeah, he's wearing monk's robes. He's not a goth.
Right.
They just put out a call for any kind of interesting resident to be around to be filmed in, and yeah, that worked. they got this group of people. Dollface sending £2 asking, but is it as good as the sign for Nilbog in Troll 2? I'm going to have to look that up. Since you sent in a super chat, I'm going to look that up. Nilbog sign. Let's see what I can get. Well,
it's just gobbling backwards, but I think they see it through a mirror.
Is that how they do it? Yes, it is. It is. They see it through the mirror.
It doesn't even look. It doesn't even look good. It doesn't even look like goblin because all the letters are backwards.
Oh dear. They did not plan this.
It's like an idiot Russian word.
Oh, Harry, and having a go at the Cyrillic already. Oh
my God, Troll! I forgot Troll 2 was the. Now they're eating her, and then they're gonna eat me. Oh my God!
Yeah.
The classic, the infamous. Indeed. I'm going to move us. I can't stand the rat licker. I'll get us back to this.
Jeez, that's racist, dude.
Just a little bit, isn't it?
Are we not allowed to say that?
No, we call them people of licking.
Thank you very much, Dollface. Much appreciated. Oh, where was I going? Yeah, so I found that stuff was looking like quite grim and grimy, which is suitable for the horror. And then moving into the comedy, it took me a heck of a long time to catch up with what was going on. I've forgotten my next point, to be honest.
God damn it. Troll 2. It distracts everyone.
I remember. I'm afraid we do have to go back to it. Okay, so this was really interesting me. Before the tonal confusion was just like this kind of picture of Santa Carla, and the vibe of it was, I got this might sound crazy, but I got this kind of Francis Fukuyama end of history vibe. Like, this is sort of peak civilization. Everything is solved, and now we're in this sort of kind of cultural decay, really. Like, we're not going anywhere. We've reached peak civilization. Liberal democracy has won out. We're at the end of history. And now, having reached that point, everyone is just kind of, well, like treading water, getting weird, going into absolute, the word I'm looking for when you're kind of spoiled by luxury. Because no one here does any kind of serious work. Everyone is just sort of...
Everyone's a comic book store.
It's all consumerist, yeah.
Yeah, there's no like industry or anything, is there?
That's a vibe I got, was this sort of weird end of history vibe. People encountering it. I thought, oh, that's kind of an interesting thing. And then they move on from it. And I thought, oh, I didn't know if anything was happening there. Oh, okay.
They got a story about vampires to tell. Like, screw your end of history. That book wouldn't come out for another 10 years.
Yeah, it was. Well, you know, stuff can be sort of in the water, you know, before someone actually goes and writes the theory down. But anyway, that was just that interesting vibe I got that the film moved on from. I kind of thought, who would want to live forever in Santa Carla, you know?
What is
Devontae has chuffed your back, Haryan.
Oh, good. Hello.
I promised him, Devontae. I said, and I've delivered a Haryan.
Ask and ye shall receive.
And you know what? If you want to see more of him, he is doing his own stream tomorrow, Laughing at the Guardian.
I do 2 or 3 streams a week. You can see me all over.
I'm helping you out. You out.
Nice.
So we're a bit thrown by that one, but I was finding it interesting. The music I was absolutely loving.
Like, the music was great.
Yeah.
Like, as TCG says, quintessential 80s music throughout, which was amazing. Even like the sex scene, it's exactly the type of thing that Team America was parodying.
That was one of the other. Oh well, yeah. That's a Joel Schumacher edition. I haven't got much on that, to be honest. I think I have a screen cap just before it, but I found it very weird.
Yeah, Michael's like panicking and is going to Starlight. What's happening to me? I'm panicking, and she just goes, like eats his face.
Oh God, that really stuck out to me. Help me, Star. And then
I'm sorry,
like, no.
I can't.
It turns out she actually can. She can tell him very easily.
Yeah, she literally knows exactly what's going on, and I don't know why she's not telling him. Like,
since we've got,
fair, it calmed him down, I suppose.
Yeah, there's a bit of a love triangle going on there. You know, an interesting thing that initially, you know, Michael is interested in her, but David basically makes it clear that she belongs to him. Like, he's very possessive. For people on Schumacher Wikipedia watch, basically you could say she's the star of David.
Oh,
Michael is desperate to have. You know, you might phrase it like that. Just an interesting
early life check. My goodness. Oh no, he's a Baptist. It's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, wait.
If you want another one of those, by the way, do you notice the gang that were killed on the beach?
What they called the rabbis?
They were not.
The rapping rabbis.
The rapping rabbis.
No, they were surf Nazis. If you look in the credits, there's like surf Nazi 1, surf Nazi.
Oh right. Oh, so
there's
like
the monetization gone. I was like, hang on. So
yeah, they are.
Yeah, I tried to zoom in on them and be like, are they like wearing anything?
How ironic! They're the only people in the credits that are numbered as well.
Yeah.
No, they're not. Run away.
Like, do they have any fruity symbols on them? And I couldn't see anything. Like, there's nothing that indicates that they are. So I was just like, oh, why did he go out his way to do that?
I just love the idea of this vampire lot have gone out to kill a load of people, and you're supposed to feel bad for it, and then the credits it's like, oh, don't feel too bad about it. They were Nazis.
Yeah.
Not just Nazis, surf Nazis. There's a difference, and I'm sorry, I'm taking forever to get this image. As we are all aware, surf Nazis must die.
Brilliant.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I believe
when was this? This must be a reference. This must be a reference then, outright.
Well, is it? I don't know. Is this the one that Nicole Kidman was in?
I can't. The font on that.
Hang on, this is an actual film.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's a real film. It's a trauma film, but they're officially real movies, you know.
Mate, horror films do have some wacky names. I mean, we all surely know about gay N-words from outer space.
A group of neo-Nazis led by Adolf Brenner, self-proclaimed Shore of the New Beach. What is this film?
It's the gnarliest cold comedy surf action adventure ever, dudes. Brilliant. Tide Power, Cro-Minion.
I mean, you know it's a good film when absolutely none of the cast have a Wikipedia page.
Tide Power.
Tide Power.
Oh dear. You know, it kind of makes sense that later you get that's all in German. You get a lot of references to this sort of phenomenon of like neo mid-century Germans into things like Die Welle or the wave. So maybe they're also inspired. You know, waves, surf Nazis. It all makes sense.
Well, you know, wave and Roman salute, basically the same thing.
Anyway, so if any of you wanted some Joel Schumacher watch, there it is. And if anyone wants to know more, I believe it's American Krogan had a really interesting conversation about his adaptation choices with A Time to Kill, which you can look up the stream for. Anyway, T has got there.
T.
Nice. That is a top shelf comment. I want to give you money for that.
Kudos. Nice.
Apparently, I've just googled surf Nazis. Apparently, they were an actual thing in California.
Oh, shut up! Really?
Yeah, they were an actual thing in California.
Really? How?
Well, according to a New York Times opinion piece, this guy was in San Francisco, and the first time he saw some random guy with a swastika, it was someone carrying a surfboard. And then apparently, there's a small subculture of neo-Nazis who surfed. So apparently, they were a real gang, I guess.
Is that like just when punks would rock a swastika just for fun? There's no way we're getting monetized now, is it?
Oh, I may as well say it. No.
150th episode special. Quick, someone get us a pass.
Well, 150th episode. So I lost.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Germany's not landlocked, so they do. I suppose some Nazis would try to make a claim of the waves.
After Surfensraum, it all makes sense. We should move on from that little diversion into a little bit of Schumacher watch. Gosh, what the heck were we on here? I'll throw this out here. As well as massively enjoying the aesthetics, This is what turned it around for me. The second these guys, the Frog Brothers, Edgar and Alan, do you get it, guys? Do you get it? Huh? Edgar, Alan, huh?
Were they being serious? Were they?
Oh,
were
I
they
didn't
posed?
notice that.
Were they joking with the names? Were they being serious?
I think. To be fair, I think all the Nazis were called Poe, and I think they had a thing called Poe's Law. So
yeah, there you had to be. Yeah. Basically the intro, and I was waiting for Corey Feldman to show up the whole time.
Yeah.
But the intro of the Frog Brothers massively turned this film around for me.
I like them. Again, it's a. I can accept that the film was. Right. Krieger Bunga mean Tudens.
Oh my god. I am so sorry. I've been reading up on surf Nazis. Basically, they aren't actually Nazis. Apparently, back in the 30s, when surfing was becoming like a mainstream thing, there was a surfboard called the swastika model because the swastika was still seen as like luck and harmony symbol.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
And they made an advert for it, and the tagline was "Enjoy the thrill of a swastika." I'm putting this link in the chat. I'm not going to distract us any further with this.
Those damn Nazis, man.
But yeah, apparently it's nothing to do with it. It's all to do with this surfboard brand more than it is to do with anything else. And it obviously, they became associated with Nazis, the swastikas. So that's why they got called surf Nazis.
Wow.
So they're actually hippies, probably vegan as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Look, mein Freunden. I'm not trying to be a hater. We don't care if you are Juden. You are free to surf the waves with us.
Yeah.
Come on, brother.
Oh no.
Love and peace.
Oh,
National Celebrity.
Oh no.
Und das heißt Nazis.
I'm afraid I got there before you.
I know. While I was reading.
Sponsored by Fanta.
Oh,
boss.
That's far too good a joke, T. Yes, they're both after a wipeout. Oh, damn it.
I have to say that the surfboard swastikas windmill is going the correct way around for peace and love. It's not going the other way for, death of the Juden.
All I'm going to say is I did not expect this conversation to go in this direction when
I am
you first brought up the fact that we were going to cover this film. I was not expecting this.
It's all Joel Schumacher's fault. He chose to call them that.
If he didn't give us those bloody bat nipples, this never would have happened.
I'm to be honest, I'm glad I found out they didn't just put a random white supremacist gang in the film, and it is literally just a kind of niche term for Californian surfers. Apparently.
Why would Joel Schumacher do this? Anyway, oh dear. This is worse than the Sargon film derailing from last week.
Oh yeah, chat, continue with that. That was fun. We got some proper quality Sargon film titles. You basically just, well, I'm sure you already know, Harry. You take a film, you replace one word with Sargon or Carl.
Oh yeah, the Sargon boy.
Exactly.
I did think of this and didn't put it in the chat, but never mind.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good.
On with the Swindon. Nice.
But we will not get dragged into Carl posting again.
Oh my god, there's an iron cross with a surfer on it.
Are you still looking it up?
Dude, this is fascinating. I don't think this is going to be my hyperfixation for the next week.
Oh mate, you're gonna.
I'm going to make a video on this.
Do it,
mate. You're probably going to be talking about this tomorrow, aren't you?
Oh, I might bring it up on the stream. Yeah.
Maybe I'll give you like a super berry prompt, so it won't look unhinged that you've been up until 3 a.m. researching this.
I'm looking it up now. Right, you've convinced me. Oh yeah, no, I see. Yeah, the swastika, but it's on the it's mirrored in it. So yeah, okay.
Well, it's the correct way around.
Yeah. The correct one. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Frog Bros.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's okay. It's from the parody movie. Sorry.
Actually, before we get into the Frog Bros, can I ask, like, how did you feel about this sort of early scene when Michael's meeting the gangs, hanging out? They're just kind of being total a-holes.
I could imagine. Yeah, I could imagine two kids who work in a comic book store. I mean, you think comic book guy in The Simpsons. I wouldn't be shocked if, they're like, we know more about vampires than you. Oh, you're going to need to know it, idiot. Well, I can't remember which of the Frog Brothers it is, but the one that sounds like he just ate a handful of gravel before every scene.
Hey man, don't talk about me like that, dude.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say I love this. Like I was just saying, I really did not like any of the early setup stuff with the vampires.
Oh, really?
I just found them unpleasant to be around. I didn't care about anyone. I was not emotionally connecting. These guys come into the picture, and suddenly it's a whole new film. And I'm massively into it. And like this sort of thing is where I felt the film suddenly knew what it was. Like that absolute cheek to have this comic explaining the law, and then the delicious performance that Corey Feldman gives. I was so confused by your message, TCG, when you just put in the DMs. Is he going to speak like this the whole movie?
Mate, you know what? It just bugged me. Like, I like Corey Feldman, but the fact that he decided to talk like this, like his balls hadn't probably dropped, and so he was.
Oh, I thought they dropped too far.
No. He was. You could tell he was putting it on. Like,
well, obviously, he was putting it on.
I know, but it was just like, why?
Oh, I liked it because it made it out like he was LARPing as a vampire hunter, and I'm like, that is exactly
didn't need
how
to put the voice onto LARP. I mean, his other mate didn't.
Yeah, what do you think a LARP is? Of course he did. Oh, I loved it. Oh, you two are just gay.
That's why I love it.
Well, that's a factual statement for one of us. I don't know about Horrorshow.
Hey.
No, but I really enjoyed the setup with the vampires. This is how he learns everything about vampires.
Yeah,
It's always given.
I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. I'm not saying they were bad characters. I'm not saying that. I didn't mind this. I didn't mind this either. It's just the bloody voice. It really just grated on me. I was like, "Come on, Corey, man, you're better than this."
Yeah.
No, I loved it. Well, I read it like Haryan. It was like him obviously putting it on. Massively sold it for me. Like this.
We will have to agree to disagree. I'm afraid. Normally I can have my mind changed by your like superior analysis, but I'm not. I can't, man.
It's pure taste. It's very silly. It could be very annoying for people. I just loved what it told me about his character and the fact that they stuck to the bit the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
mean, I'll give him points. I'll give him points for committing to it, but I just didn't like it. I suppose it's because I saw him, from like the Friday the 13th film, so I kind of knew what he sounded like only a few years before, and it's like, nah.
I also liked how he looks like a mini Patrick Bateman. I appreciated that.
Digested too many diamonds and Goonies.
We can do that. Apparently, they still have that store is basically still there today, and they have a copy. They have that prop still.
Oh,
and they let you take a photo of it. I thought
that's pretty cool.
That was nice. It was also this is something I see. Maybe it's not actually only vampire films, and I just notice it in vampire films. But it seems like every vampire movie has to really nail down the rules.
Yeah.
Just because there's so much variety. Like if you go in the Hammer horror, it's all over the place. Staking is reliable, but sometimes it's flowing water will do the job. And so I feel like they do make darn sure someone is there to tell you the rules very explicitly, so you know what kind of vampire law you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And them doing it via comic, I really loved.
Yeah, that was smart. Yeah. For kids that age. Well, and of that time period. Like, you just go on YouTube now. It's what they
It
do on
kind-
Smiling Friends, and it's great.
Do you know, it kind of reminded me of I don't know how far you got into Supernatural Horror Show, but when you're oh god, I can't remember his bloody name, but you're introduced to this character who turns out to be a prophet for God, and he's been
we're
writing
a couple of seasons off that. So.
Okay. I won't go into too much, but what I will say is he essentially is writing a new sort of version of the Bible, and it's broken into different books, and it just basically covers like all of the past sort of episodes that Sam and Dean have been on, and it's like written as fact, if you will. But yeah, so essentially it is like all the lore and stuff and all the background of the boys are in that, and it kind of reminded me of that, and I thought, okay, I can see why.
Okay,
it would be a good way to try, to get that lore inserted into someone's mind, if because obviously it's one thing to say vampires are real, and then you get locked up in an asylum, against I'll write a comic book, and then when someone comes across a vampire, as they would do in this city, hopefully they've read the bloody comic and they'll know what to do.
In Buffy, Spike complains about Dracula giving the game away and getting a book written about him because everyone knew how to kill them. I thought it was really nice.
Exactly that.
Good times.
It does, yes. Patrick Batman, absolutely spot on. Yeah, the vampire.
Patrick, This is such a good. This is a great springboard, Patrick. I was going to try and move us on to this section, but yes, for £2, the vampire makeup looks the same as Buffy's. Absolutely, it does, and shockingly so. What should we go for our example? I'll use this one. I've got a couple of them, but not just the vampire makeup. Like really specifically, some of the language is lifted straight from this. The example you'll get in the IMDb trivia is vamp out. But the general way of talking in this, I think, was taken up by Joss Whedon and done to a sort of exaggerated to get the Buffy style. But I want to throw you this one. Look at this. Where are they hanging out?
Yeah, I know, right? It's the lair. It looks a lot like Spike's lair. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Spike's there, the Master's lair in season 1.
Yes, of course, yeah.
This is season 1 Buffy, I swear. And also Spike was partly modelled after Keith Sutherland's David.
Yeah, I can see it.
It's like, I'm not saying it was stolen, but I'm saying when Joss Whedon was looking to develop the project, this is clearly where he got the influence from. Like,
Patrick, shared universe?
Well, I guess the only thing is they don't dust. There was
they don't, and also they fly. Well, I don't know. Do they? They don't really. No, they don't fly in Buffy either.
That's one thing that they can do a big jump, but they
can't fly. The law. And anyway, the law is. I mean, the vampires themselves are like demons as opposed to like salt. Well,
yeah, it's a very big change in the law. On the dusting front, and by the way, I think it's what is it? I really think it's Blade that switches it up so that they dust, and then after that, it's just it really everyone does that after that, because the Buffy movie they do not dust.
No, but didn't the TV series come out before Blade?
God, actually, that's a really good point. Yeah, Buffy TV series 97.
Yeah, I'd argue if it came out before, I'd argue.
And then Blade is 98. Yeah, gosh, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I was saying I would have put Buffy as a sort of inspiration for that.
Yeah, it's really close inspiration. Oh, and Hyperborean Spirit 4.99, and thank you ever so much. Very much appreciated. This film to me is symbolic of subversive movements taking over America around the same time of this film. That's an interesting one. I think what I see in this is that I sort of had a talk at the start about seeing the decay on the boardwalk is like the society is already kind of gone. It's already kind of reached some kind of apotheosis and stalled. And then they're really easy pickings for a movement, which is maybe how, let's say that's a kind of narrative you can put out there, whereas a narrative of, no, the subversion came first is a bit harder to sell, let's say. But yeah, very much appreciated. Yeah, I can see that. Thank you very much again. Yeah, so massive Buffy influence. I think we'd said that. They do get their own lore. Around the way that the vampires die, there was some really cute dialogue there.
Yes.
You pick up.
Yeah, I picked up. Is it?
Go on.
Is it where they say like no vampire dies the same way?
Mm.
Yeah, and then you get to see that. So it sets you up, doesn't it? It sets you up like it's going to get good now, guys.
Yeah, lovely bit of setup and payoff. You know, some do this, some do that, some do the other, and we see all of them in that order.
Yeah.
Is it the same order? They say, nice.
It's the same order, so that was cute. That was cute. Now that I think was put in by a guy called Jeffrey Boehm, who did the screenplay touch-up for Joel Schumacher. Don't Google Joel Schumacher touch-up Lost Boys.
Oh God,
that is scandalous, and you should not believe that rumor.
Incognito mode won't save you, so don't do it.
Yeah, Jeffrey Boehm, much more experienced guy. You know, mostly I will pray. You will know him for The Last Crusade, probably Lethal Weapon. You know, big guy, but I kind of love him for The Dead Zone. Bit of a beauty, that one. But he came in to re-up the script after Joel Schumacher did all those changes. The original, was by Janice Fisher and James Jeremias, who, from what I can tell, are effectively just debut screenwriters who had this one hit and then really didn't do anything else. I looked on their IMDb's to see if there was anything. They're credited on later Lost Boys comics, but I think that's going to be purely for character creation. So they seem like they're just doing a sort of one and done here. So I will imagine that the kind of nice setup and payoffs are going to be from Jeffrey Boehm, because they strike me as the kind of thing that is a lot more established screenwriter, if you get me.
Yeah.
There are also some very nifty things like, so we did the thing with the killing and they're killed in the order. There's also when they jump off the bridge, they jump off in the order they die in.
Oh, that's a good spot.
Yeah.
It's like Teletubbies.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
They die in the Teletubbies? What the hell?
Well, they don't die in the Teletubbies, but at the end when they jump into the when they jump into their house from the top, you know, bye-bye, bye-bye, you can normally tell the order in which they're gonna
die. Yeah.
They pop back up. Yeah, it's the same order. Cool. Well, there's a method to it. It's not an exact science, but yeah, you can tell the order that they're gonna pop up. Yeah. I used to impress my family with that. Hey, nice. My little brothers and sisters, when they were like young enough to watch, I'd be like, "Guess what? I can tell which one's gonna. Oh, Lala's gonna come up first today." They're like, "What? How'd you know that?" Because I know everything.
Fez, hi, good to see you in the chat. And also, Hyperborean Spirit has donated another £5. Very much appreciated. Another message is that the boys are raised by a boomer hippie with an absent father, making them prime targets of the vampire. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Shall we get this up quickly? Yeah, that really stuck out to me. That's very 80s. Like, she is a classic 80s absentee parent mum as well, if you noticed that. That's a really good catch, Hyperborean Spirit. Thank you. Yeah, there's she is the 80s mum, right? She's the 80s movies mum. It's like your family is already gone. You don't turn to your family for support. You've got to do it on your own.
It's a random other man.
Did this, Stand By Me does this, Goonies do this. It is the 80s trope of 80s tropes. Now, we've got to be careful with this because in every story you want your hero to solve it themselves. This is why they should never go to the police for it. It would just be boring, right? You do need your heroes to solve the problem themselves, but it's very notable that in the 80s, it's your teens and the parents are absolutely useless almost all the time.
A particular tweet was brought to mind when her choice was, I'm going to choose this man who asked me out on a date 2 days after we moved to this place. He seems pretty desperate for me. That makes me feel good. Oh, he's a vampire and nearly killed my sons. Yeah, okay, you can bite my neck. And I'm reminded of that tweet that effectively says women will act like this and say things like this and wonder why they're oppressed. Had their voting rights repressed for every culture in the world.
I could. Well, I suppose we could defend that a little bit in that.
No.
If
no, carry on.
No, she just. I felt she was kind of sacrificing herself for her son, wasn't she? But it would have been for nothing because one of her sons had already turned, and so that was it was a lost cause. And the younger lad would have gone next. So yeah.
Do you notice?
Okay, no defense.
Also, the father's been very much replaced.
No, stop.
What? What?
No.
Is this a white woman moment? Is this a white woman moment on Tumblr?
Yeah, you know what? Sod it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to educate you all.
No.
I am. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to play it. If people aren't aware, I'm just going to educate you with a little clip from my special because no one saw this. So I'm going to play it. Trying to stop us seeing the dog pill. Oh, yeah, the dog pill.
Things will never look the same with the dog pill. You'll think you have gone insane with the dog pill. She's so cute and busty, but she's got that husky dog pills. Woo! Instagram got me taking those dog pills. Woo! Man's best friend with benefits. It's dog pills. It's a disturbing revelation. Why she chose that big Alsatian. Must be something to do with the dog pill. Woo! You know that it's over, man. Dog pill. Woo! Now she's got that Doberman dog pill. Demonetized for talking about the dog pill.
Oh my god, the 50 Shades of Greyhounds. That's amazing.
We'll go back to that. Sorry.
I was hoping never to see that ever again. Murphy, don't get your channel nuked. Do you know what?
We don't have a chance, do we? We're already done.
Went out on 150. We
more swastikas.
This is why I don't villainize cat ladies.
I'll be honest with you, no one watched that Christmas special, and I was so gutted because I put that song in there, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to play it on a stream sometime. Good times. Good times.
What times?
That was a good boy, and he was not shagging the mum. So I will not have this slander of. I couldn't tell. It didn't look. I couldn't tell what type of dog it was, to be honest.
Oh, it was a Malamute. It was an Alaskan Malamute. It's one of my favourite doggos.
Wanted a werewolf, settled for a vamp.
Yeah.
How could you do this to me?
Oh my god.
Can you buy that tune on Bandcamp? I'll tell you what, actually, some behind the scenes. Chris Gard was going to do it, and then I sent him the video, and he just... The first video I sent was a lot more of that woman with the husky, and that's from just a nature documentary. And he just went, sent back WTF, FFS, FFS. And then he refused to do the song.
You know what you should have done? You know what you should have done? You should have got Nigel Farage to do it.
Take the dog pill.
Woo-woo!
Ooh-woo.
Everybody is talking about the dog pill. Ooh.
Have I got Nigel? Oh, I haven't got my Nigel cameo clip in this.
What?
Oh. I've got my... Oh, no, he's on an external drive. I can't play Nigel. Alas. Alas. We should probably get back to the film and not the disgraceful dog pill songs. But I think we're already demonetized because of the discussion about the surfing.
Well, I was to say we might be able to save the stream later if you play the carrot pill song.
Didn't one of your questions have an F slur in as well?
Excuse me?
Well, she might have been talking about the dinner, you know?
That is true. You've got me there. Maybe a bundle of sticks. You got good defences there.
Yeah.
Well thought out.
You know, Mergoot, Moon may disapprove of the stream, but Moon Man approves of it. So, oh dear. Yes, you know it's cursed when God thinks it's too much. Absolutely. Oh dear. Ruined any chance of a collab by sending him a video of that disgraceful woman. She just gets her mouth licked out. It's absolutely cursed, I swear. Oh dear. Anyway. We don't deserve Malamutes or Akitas. Akitas are also wonderful.
I thought you said
the Farage. If you mean the Michael Myers, if you mean the Farage in the Blockbuster video, that was actually him. He has an account on Cameo, and so that's how I got him to read out ridiculous stuff. So there we go.
Yeah.
I wanted to move us on in the hope of being timely to one of the set piece scenes, and just wondered if I could get your thoughts on this, whether this worked for you. After, I think this immediately follows a sort of weirdness with a Chinese takeout and the maggots and worms thing.
Well, this bit here, what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, they do the thing where they just mess with him in the lair and he doesn't leave. He just hangs around still.
Oh, yeah. How far do you want to go, Michael?
Yeah. How did you... No?
I'm trying to remember that bit. It's... Which bit in the film was it?
So they're testing him.
Yeah.
He's just drunk the blood and then forget that it's blood.
That he forgets like 30 seconds later and then figures it out all by himself again halfway through the film later.
That's the one. And then the boys take him out. Star's like, "Nee, dingy. You know how she sounds." And then they come to the bridge and he's these guys are being absolutely weird and he's still not going. And then they jump down a gap and hang. And Michael's like, "Oh yeah, peer pressure's awesome, bro. I'm gonna jump down that too."
Well, he's always drunk on blood, you know.
Okay, all right.
If it's, I mean, think about it. If it's the blood of Christ, there's a lot of alcohol in it. He was drunk 24 hours a day.
Got thoughts on the bridge scene then? This is one of the more iconic ones.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked the way, I'm going to talk about a theme. It's his descent into madness from becoming a vampire. And I thought it represents that pretty well. He's seeing the other people be completely mad. He's trying to hang on for dear life, but he's already too far gone. And I thought it portrayed that pretty well. And I hate talking about themes. I think they should all die. No, I'm joking. It's a well-written scene. So. It is quite simple. So
it is the pressure to just let go. Everyone else is just let go. Like, really, they're not holding on to any societal standards, so they let go and they fall off. They fall off the deep end. Yes, they descend. Yes.
And Michael's forced into it. He tries to pull himself back up, and he can't do it. But he gets the help of his brother and his weird friends to stop it happening. So
interesting. I wondered if you would have a problem with this bit.
I can't think of any objective critiques of it.
I just thought you might wonder if, like, okay, so what actually happened to him after this? How does he not remember, etc.?
Oh, I just took the whole thing of like the bloody, because I'm thinking of Witcher vampire rules where they effectively get drunk when they drink blood, and I just assume that's from standard vampire lore. And so he was effectively drunk after having, like, blackout drunk after one, having the wine, and two, the adrenaline of the fall.
Yeah, it could. And to be fair, like with vampire blood, it's obviously having some sort of.
Oh, and he's acting drunk.
Yeah, I mean, it's causing changes within you anyway. So it would make sense that it would also present itself in the form of like being drunk, because you're becoming less like yourself and more into something else. Yeah, so that
making it home drunk is not unreasonable. I managed it 100% of the time being blacked out. So.
There's also thematically, there's something solid here.
Yeah.
The other lads choose to let go. He is just unable to, which fits with the fact that he's being taken over. He is losing his will.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Consistently, they're fighting the vampirism, but you know, you can only do it so long, so he falls unwillingly.
Yeah, exactly. As I say, it represents his descent into madness that is absolutely nothing to do with his will at all. It's following other people to get to the point where he doesn't have a choice but to fall into it. And the whole film's about him obviously trying to stop himself descending into the madness.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
It's a memorable scene. It's very iconic. It doesn't look like much else in the movie. But you know what? Something we should actually say here is this movie was operating on an extremely tight budget of about $8.5 million. They were more ambitious. And so whilst something that did annoy me through a lot of the film was how many tight close-ups you have, which kind of, I think, it just makes it look a bit cheap, you know? Yeah,
especially like other bits as well, where like we talk about at the beginning of the film, where you have that security guard, police officer, whatever, and he gets taken out by the vampires, and it's literally just an overhead camera coming down. You don't actually see anything.
Oh, I
liked it. I liked it because my gut reaction to scenes like that were, okay, this film must be operating on some sort of tight budget. Otherwise, they wouldn't have. Otherwise, they might have gone with something different. But you can tell where they did put the money into things like the visual effects. Oh my god, it worked! It worked.
Yeah. They basically the studio shafted Joel Schumacher on this,
right?
And I think he adapted very well. So it could have looked a lot better, but they relied on. I think they probably chose to rely on a lot of close-ups rather than distant effect shots, because I'd rather not have something in that looked terrible.
Yeah,
good decision.
I agree, and it's also kind of reminiscent of films of like a time before, you know, where you get like the old death scene, person's about to die, but it's just, you know, a camera approaching somebody and just the actress or actor just screaming, and you know, it kind of reminded me of that. It almost seemed kind of like an homage to that kind of horror.
Yeah, kind of quaint.
Yeah. Like it just shows that you don't have to go all out really just to create the effect. Like it can be simple but effective, and I think they do it well here. But yeah, I mean, like towards the end of the film where they started going crazy, I think it was crazy with the budget. I think, you know, with the vampire kills, man, they were great.
They knew where to spend their budget. They really did, and it also feels like it very clear that was the old horror style.
Yeah.
This is the new horror style.
Yes,
we're gonna have fun with that.
Yeah, and like it's for me, it started with Bill and Ted guy's death when he gets staked. You know,
well, if I may, we had a foreshadow of it with the aforementioned surf Nazis. Okay. Now, I've had to be careful with this. This film, as far as I can tell, was deliberately going PG-13. So whilst you do have some nasty violence in the Surf Nazi death scene. It's incredibly brief. And that's the only one I can show you. It does look absolutely awesome.
All that for half a second shot.
Yeah, half a second. Do you see the guy getting his scalp pulled off? Like,
yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
You got a few frames of it, but my goodness, that'd stick in your head as a kid. It's kind of like Indiana Jones, or exactly like Indiana Jones, seeing as the same group are the ones getting the extremely gruesome death in a kid's movie. It's there very briefly, although even more briefly in this. You got the sort of foreshadowing of that new type of horror in that scene in particular. But I think people are picking up on this. Chat, you're too good. You're too good on this. You know all the references, chat. I don't feel how am I going to provide you educational value if you guys already are horror experts? Honestly, terrible. No, yeah, you guys are on the money. This has got some Tobe Hooper, Salem's Lot vibes. It's got some magic vibes as well. They know their references. But this again was the film really working for me. The dynamic between the brothers suddenly felt really good in this.
Scenes like this really sold the schizophrenic tone to me.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like
the zany thing of like they've got real drama and then the mother is just pure comic relief.
Yeah.
And then
or like just lines like, "Oh my God, you're a vampire. Oh man, Mom's gonna be so mad when she finds out."
Brilliant line.
I'm gonna tell Mum.
Yeah, she's gonna be so mad when she finds out. I'm like, what?
That is exactly how I'd react if I was 12.
You know what? I'm slowly coming around actually to the whole. Oh, I don't know what the tone was. I think actually I might have been wrong with that.
Well, as I said, it was a schizophrenic.
It was, but I think
it's one you have to be careful with.
The early on vampire scenes were like,
I think
ineffective horror, and then it got funky.
Well, that's the thing. I felt like at the beginning it was going to be something. It was going to be something very different than what it was. And actually, as we've been talking, I've had it on mute in the background, so I've sort of been playing in the background. And I think if they decided part way, we're going to camp it up a little bit. We're gonna tone it down a little bit. We're gonna pop culture reference it and just make it very, very current day for the 80s. It worked.
I just want to point out I've been fact checked. Yes, just looked it up. Can confirm. Yes, it was R-rated, which is odd to me because it felt like it was. It felt to me like it was aiming for PG-13, but.
You say that,
it's a light R. It's a soft R.
You say that, but like heads and hands blow up. That stake through the heart from Bill and Ted.
I thought that was quite bloodless,
Well, it was, but I think just the fact that it goes through the other side, and that's visualized, and then you get that not blood, but I don't even know what it is.
Glittery blood. I've got a screen cap of it. Glittery blood.
Yeah, it's a great. It was a great choice, especially considering it's Pride Month.
Oh dear.
And now look at them. They are all ready to go on a parade.
Oh no. Twilight, by the way, preempted. This scene, just as you say, schizophrenic tone worked amazingly. It's little things like on the visual aspect. Once the mum is out of the picture, you've got Michael is super serious about his condition. And then you've got the comedy aspect of, can't remember his name, Corey Haim's character, wearing an absolutely ridiculous dressing gown and overplaying and cowering. And he switches up his character a bit. And it just, I really like that. At this point, I was really starting to enjoy the film.
Oh, yeah.
So totally sold it to me. And it was a great effect as well.
Yeah. I just love the whole scene. It's it's not, what could I be critical of? Basically, it was made in the 80s, so it looks really like, not, I don't want to say cheap, but very camp. which I can't really blame it for because it's trying to be camp at the same time.
Dated,
they knew they
maybe?
wanted fun with it.
Dated, maybe. I mean, it's.
I don't even think I don't know if it's fair to call it that either. I mean, when I say what could I criticize it for, I'm really forcing myself to find good criticisms of it. So, but I don't want to say it's perfect either, so because I know it's not. But no, it's because nothing's perfect.
No,
in this world.
I'd say this possibly doesn't effects wise look as good as it could, but I suspect this is a massive victim of the budget being absolutely slashed below half.
Yeah.
So I think they did the best they could, and I like the idea. I like the consistent thing of Michael losing control over it. And so when he can't even control if he's floating or not, he's kind of basically being carried away by the winds.
Yeah.
I like that. That worked for me. Plus the tributes to other horror classics. We'll take that as a win. And then I moved us on to the Frog Bros. Oh, can we just have a massive praise for the Frog Brothers having so much fun in their dinner scene?
Oh my god, yeah.
I love the dinner scene.
Yeah,
and just the way they're so clearly, just take your bro, just take your brother. They'll be fine. We can come over and do it.
Yeah, just kill him, you'll feel better. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the testing if he's a vampire scene was all.
Did you spot the little like giveaway as to him being a vampire?
Which one?
Okay, the boyfriend Max. That's it. Yeah. Did you spot the little giveaway?
No, I know who you meant, but no, what was the giveaway?
Okay, so knock on the door.
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, you're the man of the house. Aren't you going to invite me in?
Yeah.
I thought at the time that was a bit of a misdirect. I thought they were playing like 4D chess with me.
Same.
Like, you're trying to make me think he's a vampire.
It is, of course. Yeah, no, at that point, it does feel like that because obviously everything that happens after the fact, it obviously pans out the way it is. But it very much, it very much sort of circles back to at the end when it's revealed, when you get the big reveal, and it's like, of course, yeah, of course he had to ask to be invited in. Of course he did. I loved this scene though.
Yeah. The way they justify it as well, I was like, that's cheating. Where it's like, the rules don't apply when you invite me in.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Total cheat.
Yeah. I mean, it justifies it, but it's just lazy. It's my point.
I wondered if that was written in, given that I felt this was basically a teen audience. The idea of, because it's a divorced family, right? You always view the new man with suspicion. The stepdad is always greeted as a figure of kind of deep suspicion and hate in the film, and it's always a thing of like, eventually they iron out the differences and bond. But I kind of thought they were going to do that a bit. So
no, he's a
I just thought I was being messed with on many levels. I didn't expect the double bluff. I also need to apologize here because, sorry, Patrick Batman, I'm absolutely goofed there. In getting excited over the discussion and dropping dog pills, I did miss a super chat. So thanks for the prompt.
Phrasing.
Yes, the fog under the bridge are like clouds, but upside down. It's like an inversion of ascending to heaven. So we'll get that up again quickly. Where do I have that? Oh, where have I got that image? Oh, there we go. We'll go back to this. I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, no,
it's
that's
all an
a great
inversion.
Shout. Yeah, that's a great shout. I like that.
Yeah, it's nice. Also, the disappear into the unknown aspect of it. But yes, this is. Yeah, we've got to remember there's a lot of sort of messing with the eternal here, messing with sacrilege. I mean, maybe we can make a bit more of that. There's always a big sacrilege aspect to vampires, which is often underplayed. The fact that they have an eternal life, but they're here on Earth. the fact that they have to drink blood. So that's effectively like them taking communion. Instead of drinking the blood of Christ, they're drinking the blood of Christ's people. There's always that really sacrilegious aspect to vampires. Obviously, they are warded off by the cross itself. And so having them sort of do an ascent into heaven upward, but inverted, would definitely make sense. So yeah, it's a great observation. I'm sorry I missed that, man. Sorry. But yeah, that's a really good point.
I was going to say, is you know how if you're invited in, then none of the tests or whatever work.
Total cheat.
I mean, one, a cheat. Two, isn't it a bit of a plot hole?
Ooh, go on.
I'm trying to think at the end. I mean, now that I think about it, it might not be.
Why does killing him work, you know?
I was going to say killing it. I can understand that the rules don't work, but killing me, I guess, makes sense, even if the rules
Hang
work.
on.
Did
anyone invite vampires in? Did anyone invite
no one invited no one invited the vampires in, which is also a thing I'm questioning. But if the vampires were attacking, like, do they need the invite? I don't know how the whole invite thing works.
No, they would need the invite, because again, Joss Whedon brought that rule into Buffy, and again, a recent episode. It was actually the same episode I watched that I mentioned earlier. Drusilla goes after what's his face, Xander. And Xander's in Buffy's home, and all the women are going into the house. She tries to go in and is stopped because she hasn't been invited in, and even though she's technically on the attack,
maybe in this you can still enter, but all the anti-vampire stuff will work on you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that inference.
I suppose, or maybe Max could invite other people in. Once he's been given
when
permission.
He's in, maybe, yeah.
But again, it's one of those things where I think EFAP would do it. Is where, you know, if it's,
I think we can infer it's okay. I think we can infer this is okay. Yeah.
I still think it's worth quibbling. Hyperborean spirit. You are actually dead on the money. So Corey Feldman originally, being a kid in Hollywood, was not having the greatest time. He was abusing substances and being abused himself. Don't you love Hollywood? And he first came onto this and messed around on set, basically. He was not ready. He was reportedly coming off a cocaine binge at about 16, 17. Don't you love Hollywood? And basically not ready. So Schumacher fired him. He comes back sort of the next day prepared to like really turn it around. And one of the things that he did was just like really stick to the letter of suggestions. One of which was Schumacher saying, you need to think that you are an action star. So he binged a whole bunch of Sylvester Stallone movies and Chuck Norris movies.
Oh, God.
Decided to model his voice after Sly Stallone. So that is exactly what he's doing.
Well, he wasn't doing a good job. I'm sorry, he wasn't doing a good job. I mean, if he wanted to do Sly Stallone, he could.
He was doing a bad job. I could understand him.
I mean, it's easy to do a Sly Stallone voice. All you gotta do is sound like you've been punched by Mike Tyson for about 5 hours, you know?
Rocky, you can't go to Mars and fight the Martian. I do what I gotta do.
I do what I gotta do.
That Martian wants a fight. I'll get a fight. You can't win, Rock. You're 63 years old.
It's not about how hard you get hit. You can hit, but about how hard you can get hit and get back up, you know?
He really does sound like
Adrian, I wet myself again.
Oh dear. Patrick Batman has sent in £2 and saved us from Sly Stallone slander, frankly. Saying £2. The Doors, Jim Morrison symbolism. Did you spot it? Yes, absolutely. There is a poster of Jim Morrison you see very prominently in the, I just want to call it a lair. Now, I saw that the chat was dissecting relevance to the film that, about the Doors. I haven't seen it, can't comment, but Jim Morrison in particular holds a bit of sort of iconic sway, really, for this sort of
Sorry.
Live Wild, Die Fast thing. There's even the Lana Del Rey song. Is it just called Jim Morrison?
I don't know.
It might be.
I don't know.
Anyway, Lana Del Rey has a song about him.
Sorry, it's just dull face. Rocky, you can't say that word anymore. And all I just thought was, hey, come on, guys. I use it as a term of endearment, you know?
Oh, no.
I know I got many friends who say that word, and they don't mind me saying it too, you know?
Why do people call bullshit?
God. What I took from the Jim Morrison thing was, just this thing of wanting to preserve that. Preserve yourself in the prime when you've sort of got this dark energy, this sort of focus on being a tortured poet. That's what they've kind of done. They've dressed themselves in sort of romantic imagery. I don't know if there's more beyond that. I mean, the sort of sexual predilections of Jim Morrison might give you a little bit of a hint to maybe how David runs things. You know, there's a certain feminine energy to the Lost Boys as well, especially, but the way he turns them is a lot less intimate. You know, he's not doing the classic bite and exchange fluids that you typically see. It's just, you know, drink from the dirty wine bottle, don't do any wash back, you know. So I don't know if there's more, folks. If I'm missing stuff, fill me in. I don't know my Jim Morrison very well. I just took it as a kind of Jim Morrison being kind of their icon. Let me know what I'm missing. And Adam Loves Horror coming in, saying for also $2, saying Lost Boys, Peter Pan, Corey went to Neverland Ranch. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I don't know. I mean, neither Corey, I believe, named anyone. You're not encouraged to name them in Hollywood. Let's put it that way. But a lot of the film, I was trying to work out what the Lost Boys connection was, how deep it went. And I don't think it's much deeper than the initial inspiration, which was to think Peter Pan's kind of creepy. He flies, he lives forever.
Spends a
like
lot
a
of time
vampire.
with that. Spends a lot of time with that underage girl.
Well, I gather one of the original ideas for that Jay and Barry had was that Peter would not be a hero. He would not be a good influence, but he was made into one later. But the evil potential for Peter Pan was already there. So, yeah, these Lost Boys are hanging out there, and the mother is clearly meant to be the Wendy figure. But I don't think the connection goes much deeper than that. But I was thinking about it. I kept looking out for it, trying to see if there's anything more in that. I mean, the fact that this is a tribe of Lost Boys, living kind of wild, I kind of get it, but I don't think it goes much deeper. I think they just took that little bit of inspiration and went and did their own thing beyond that. So anyway, that's all I had for that. We talked about the raid. We talked about why on earth the blood is glittery. Oh, hang on. Here's one. Your Lost Little Girl is a Doors song. Possibly inspired the title. I don't know. They were going to do a sequel called Lost Girls. There we go. Maybe there'll be more. Let's see. Yeah. Before they get the glittery blood all over them, we get the scene of them going in to actually do the staking. I just want to say this is one of those bits that feels really off-brand. Because in the sense that, you know, every series has to... Sorry, let me restart. Every vampire film kind of has to reset the law and tell you what it is so you know the rules. And some of them play with that ambiguity very well. This one, I thought, did stuff that had been totally abandoned. Like sleeping upside down like a bat. Feels like it's been totally abandoned, right?
Right.
Does anyone still do this?
Do they do it in What We Do in the Shadows? I know they have coffins in that, but I think some of them sleep upside down as well. Can't remember.
Then I think I only saw an episode of that.
Oh my god, you need to watch the whole series.
Is
Matt
it good?
Berry. Yeah. For Matt Berry alone, it's good. But yeah, it's. I think the film's still the best, but the TV series is still worth a watch, I'd say.
I think I only remember loving the line, "We're werewolves, not swearwolves."
We're werewolves, not swearwolves. Come on, get yourself bloody tied up. Hey, we're werewolves. Shut the fuck up. This is
made me very happy.
Oh, it's such a good film. No, the TV series is good. It's on Disney Plus, I think.
Someone actually requested we cover the film.
Oh, I'd cover the film.
In that case, I may be able to help a member out.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, this feels, like in Hammer's Dracula, Prince of Darkness, where running water does the count in. This thing of them hanging upside down, I thought was nice, creative. It's kind of been abandoned. You don't see it very much, but I like it. And this was a nice gory death. R.I.P. Bill or Ted, whichever one Alex Winter was.
What a great way to go out, though.
It was good. It was nasty.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, from this angle, this guy, what's his name? Mugatu? Looks like Mugatu from Zoolander, right?
Moguta.
Oh, Will Ferrell's character, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aye.
I thought we were going to get an angle of the dangle quote then from you.
Oh, no. I'm far too classy.
Oh, shut up. You just played dog pill.
I keep it classy so I can play the dog pill. Apologies to everyone who was exposed to that. Prof Strangefinger, who comes in with one of the best cat avatars that we have, appreciating everything we're saying. So thank you. This is what we like to do, Prof Strangefinger. We like to get these little details. We like to overthink it. And you know what? I swear a lot of this is a lot of filmmakers put these details in and they're so chuffed with themselves and they never get picked up.
Thank God for us. Film producers should be paying us.
Literally, please. If they want to come in and drop that in, I want to say in this, we were talking about how influential this film is. My goodness, this scene of Sutherland chasing them out, grabbing them, and it's only them getting into the sunlight that saves them. The hand instantly catching fire. I thought this is one of the most iconic things. It seems like I've seen this scene so many places with almost the exact rhythm that the Lost Boys uses it.
When they wanted to turn on the scares, man, it was effective. Like, I think what I really like about the makeup, besides the fact that that pretty much Joss Whedon stole it like 10 years later for Buffy, but it's so simple, but yet it's so effective.
Absolutely. And Sutherland really sells it. He really does.
Yeah, he's good in this. Very good in this. Yeah.
It's as you say, it's a good scare. I felt the scene on the beach where they kill the surf Nazis, it was kind of okay. It didn't get me as much, but I liked it. I liked how it had a kind of like fever dream vibe to it. This will be lost on probably everyone, but there's a weird little movie by Greg Araki called Doom Generation, starring Rose McGowan, and it kind of reminded me of the trippy, very violent vibe of that whole movie, just condensed into the one attack. And I was really into that. But that was this just had a good sense of actual danger for it. Again, I don't know, it probably lands a lot more when you're younger, when you've seen less horror, but I would imagine as like a teenager seeing this would absolutely land wonderfully. It would be scary as heck.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, it didn't scare me because I'm a big man, but I agree. It could have made me jump out of my seat a bit.
Yeah,
Didn't make me jump out of my seat, but it could have.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing, though. It's not one of those. Obviously, it's not going to be. It's not. We're not going to lose sleep over it, but it's effective. And this guy as well, Max. He kind of looks like what I imagined Giles to look like if he became a vampire.
Is that Anthony Head? I'm not seeing
that one. Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
I need to see. But I mean, the amount you're talking about Buffy and the amount EFAP have said it's very good. It's on Disney Plus, so I can watch all the series.
Yeah.
Oh, do it.
Yeah, do it, mate. Do it, mate. Sarah Michelle Gellar was like my second crush.
Yeah, I'll do it after I finish Sopranos.
Oh, good taste.
Well, it's just things that everyone has recommended to me over the years that I never got around to watching.
Nah, you definitely.
I'm young. Yeah, no, Sopranos is good. I think about that interior decorator line almost daily since I've heard it.
Do you know what? I need to watch The Sopranos. I never watched it. Where are you watching it?
It's on Now TV.
Ah,
Sky Atlantic, I think it was.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, if you can watch Sky on Demand, I think you can get it.
Yeah.
I think it was Sky. I don't know. I watch it on Now TV though, which has pretty much everything, and my dad still hasn't stopped me from logging into it. So
nice.
Scabbing is Now TV. Oh dear.
Haryan's dad, if you're listening, do not don't
change your password.
Don't change your password, and definitely don't change it to Pathos.
Yeah, it's Sky Atlantic that it comes off. So there you go. Oh, I can watch a really well-known film called Blue Beetle as well.
Haven't you been desperate for it? So, bearing in mind Super Nanny, I just want to praise it. So, as big a problem I had at the start with, just like terrible pacing in the first act. I actually paused the film at one point, I think fairly soon after the extremely muscly oiled saxophone player. Because obviously I had to rewind it a few times. But and I think it was like 16 minutes in, and I was like, oh, we only needed 4 minutes for all this story. This is killing me. But then so I had my complaints about the first like 25 minutes or something. After they go in and stake Alex Winters, I felt like the film suddenly had so much purpose, like knew what it was doing. The pacing massively improved. Everyone was then just converging on their home. It all kicked off very nicely.
I thought the slow start worked well personally, because they're trying to establish that yes, this is a normal world. The problem is that some people are missing. 2 people in a car, the roof gets ripped off. You never really hear about that in the news or anything. No one really talks about the fact, oh my God, a roof of a car was ripped off. A cop's door was torn off as he disappears.
Well, there was also like the posters were around for Laddie, and then Laddie is just walking around. I don't know. Did no one want to say anything?
He's with Star the whole time, isn't he? Like no one goes, hang on, is she? Yeah. Hang on, is she an elementary school teacher? Is she? Yeah, well-known paedophile noncing.
Haryan, please, this is YouTube. We use the term Haribo enthusiast on this channel.
Oh, Haribo enthusiast. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not up to date with the nonce language. No, I did find that really funny that there's these blatant missing people with clear, like, you just never hear, like, if a roof was torn off a car and 2 people are missing and they were clearly in that car, unless the vampires are like hiding it well, which it isn't established they are, you'd think that would be talked about. But all we get is missing posters. So I guess we have to infer, like, okay, the vampires are really strong. Can they move cars? Well, they can drive as well, actually. So they probably are hiding the evidence. But, you know, as you say, they had 25 minutes at the start. You probably could have a quick throwaway line or something to establish that. You don't have to show them physically getting in the car, driving for a 10-minute scene into the ocean.
That would be quite funny, though.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the film was only an hour and 37 minutes. I mean,
they had time. They had time for a 10-minute driving sequence.
Yeah, that's right.
Big old exposition dump.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I enjoyed the slow pace at the start, though. They spend the time where they need to.
Joe.
No.
No. What's a nonce nugget?
Apparently, the word is original, mate. No,
that is terrible. That is absolutely rank. Oh my goodness.
Hang on. I do like word as original.
Haryan won't even remember the advert. After all,
sorry, I've just googled it.
Very special too.
I've just googled it, and I'm already quite scared. There's an older gentleman with he's got a mustache, and he's got a younger boy with him on this advert. Where's this going?
It's a special treat for him.
I picked him up at the local swing park. Is this a joke?
Oh no. Oh man,
these nonce nuggets. I mean, word as originals. Oh my god!
Sorry, I know it's going to get taken out of context.
That was
I don't care.
That is a very niche meme. I'm glad I've been introduced to. Oh my god! I'm using nonce nuggets.
My nan used to get me word as originals when I was little.
Your nan was a nonce, mate.
You just shut the fuck up.
Wait. Oh my god, there's a parody advert.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching.
Like, put it up on screen. Come on.
Yeah. Oh my
really?
god.
The stream's already demonetized. Who cares if it gets copyright claim now? Come on.
Are we doing this? Are we actually
Are we doing this, chat?
It's episode 150. I'm on. Put the nonce nuggets on screen right now.
All right. Haryan's demanding nonce nuggets. Is this the one, Haryan?
Yeah, that's what I was watching. Yeah.
All right. Congrats, Pride of Lanarkshire. Sorry for stealing your whole video here.
You've made it. Well done.
All right, boy. Welcome. Till today, we'd never met. I picked him up at a local swing park. Lucky for me, I had these nonce nuggets. I mean, Werther's, Andy. In about 10 minutes, he won't feel a thing. Right, this is Jonathan. Till today, we'd never met.
Oh my god.
Absolutely haram.
That is amazing.
Oh, I disavow.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed that's only 4 years old. I thought that would be.
Oh my goodness.
An older than the internet. Picked him up from the local swing park.
In about 10 minutes, he won't feel a thing.
Oh, that was so haram.
We are a horror channel, YouTube. That was horrific.
Goodness me.
All right. Days. Wow. Subliminal, like the Cadbury's flake, blah, blah, blah. Ads. What? Yeah, but at least.
I'm not even. No, we ain't. We're not.
Yeah, but at least.
So anyway, the finale.
Yeah.
Like DJ. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I want to point out, like, this is something, again, hugely preempting Buffy, is a kind of logic that the film has. When they work out holy water is effective, and they start filling water pistols with it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, even if they didn't use it, my goodness, that was great.
Is that when you talk about when they run into the church? Like,
yeah, they nicked the holy water.
Yeah, that was a good bit. That was excellent.
And then you saw they filled up water pistols with the holy water.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
the whole baptism's just like watching them in shock as they do it, and like, thanks, bye.
Thanks, Father.
Oh dear. I mean, the film had won me over that by that point, and so the excellent scene, very funny, very funny. But yeah, minus a little fake out with Nanook at the start to make it spooky, you know, and tense with the obligatory stumble as you run back to the house.
Oh yeah.
It's a good finale fight. Everyone gets paired off.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
good
good.
stuff. It was good stuff. Your man busting in through the chimney. Kudos. Patrick Batman, how about that for another inversion, taking on Saint Nick? You know?
Way.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, they're not here to deliver presents, I think. Well, I guess it's the presence of internal life, but you know.
Hello, son. I have a bag of. I've got some nonce nuggets in this bag. If you want them.
No, I want nonce nuggets.
In 10 minutes, you'll be living for eternal life.
Oh dear.
We're going to hell. We're going to hell.
Oh dear.
Yeah, the chaos of the fight at the end, and well, I mean, I suppose it's like what, a 4v5 fight? Was it 5v5? Everyone splits up and has to deal with their own kind of vampire in different ways. And there's jump scares, and it's just they do well with it.
They do. Well. There's a fair amount, you know, as the vampires are actually outnumbered, you think, oh, that's maybe a bad choice, but then they get split up, and you're remembering, oh wait, most of them are kids, so
yeah. It's a bit annoying though that the power levels get nerfed massively for this scene. I will say.
I mean, it's kind of shown that the vampires toy with their victims a lot in earlier scenes, and the hero dog comes in and kills one, which I really enjoyed. I mean, he got the holy water on his face and scarred a bit, but he's still
no, come on,
that nonsense guy. I'm getting the word.
Hold on. Can you just bring that video up again for a moment, just for a brief moment?
You're obsessed with nonsense.
No. I don't want to play it. It doesn't need to be played. Thank you. Carry on.
Deeply subversive.
Unbelievable.
Where are we? This is my man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much they wanted us to actually feel the fear, but like for that sort of
it's 50-50, wasn't it?
For this kind of kids versus home invaders thing, you've got like the home alone end of the scale. You got this. It was really done amazingly well in a Netflix movie called The Babysitter. That was really good.
Sponsored by Nonce Nuggets.
Oh dear. That did the trope really, really well. Like this, as you say, this was efficient. We got what we wanted. We wanted the payoffs with the gore, all that good stuff. Memorable deaths. That's your classic 80s thing. Is give us the big deaths. You know, like at the end of Fright Night, where Chris has to be. Chris Sarandon is the actor. Your head vampire, whose name?
Oh, David.
Max.
Yes.
Oh yeah, David. Yeah.
Wait.
Well, I mean, Max is technically the head vampire, but yeah.
No, sorry. In Fright Night, you know, your guy can't just be impaled. He has to then be hit with sunlight and then explode. We get all the explosions in this, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh, the
80s style. It's paying off. We want something big. We want something hard hitting. All that goodness. That's what we expect. From our finale here. And
one gets even if you get chest, goes into the stereo.
Well, that's what I was thinking of. The guy who gives him time to reload. I thought, oh dear.
Yeah. Well, as I say, they play with their prey, as is established. But obviously, these people are prepared for them, and they're obviously not used to fighting people who are prepared. So, yeah.
Oh, Jerry Dandridge, thank you very much, Checker222. That was annoying me. Yes, Jerry Dandridge is your head vampire in the excellent Fright Night. There we go. Yeah, there's a bit in there, not as much, but they took out some of the things that that they typically use for the homoeroticism.
You're obsessed with that in these films.
What?
Where is the homosexuality in this film? This film is
David. Literally David.
What do you mean? He keeps telling Star to come to him. You know, how's that gay?
I want you to join me, Michael. Join me, Michael. She's just this beard.
Nah. There's no gay themes in any horror.
I want you inside me, Michael. You drank my fluids. Now I want you.
Come on. God. Oh, that is true. They drink his fluids.
Yeah. It's usually far
Michael
more
swallows. Sorry.
Officer Dewey. No, Officer Doofy turning up.
Officer Doofy. It's a good film.
Oh, it's a great film.
Yeah. Yeah, the usual homoerotic elements have been taken out of it. Again, I think that's something that typically comes along later. Like, let's just throw in a comparison, like Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein. They leaned on the gay hard in that. It was a weird choice, whereas, you know, Fright Night, I think, is a little unusual in the 80s for having that vibe. But yeah, it was good. I thought this fight actually had for what they could do with the budget, this was quite an epic fight. I was a fan of it. Like them launching themselves, it, you know, felt a little bit of Dragon Ball Z energy almost.
Weeb.
What? Do you not get that? They jump across a room, they fly at each other.
I wouldn't know. I've never seen Dragon Ball. But yeah, I know what you mean. They for such a small space as well. Yeah, they made the house feel massive, but it looked like it was all filmed inside.
Classic mirror thing. Although, you know what, I'm coming back to the big gay thing, the homoerotic energy. I mean, they are in this one. They're exclusively forcing each other, trying to penetrate each other. You know?
That is true.
It's kind of like who's going to top,
forcing to penetrate each other. Yeah. You got me there. With two big antlers as well. Wow, spit roasted.
Hang on, Hyperborean Spirit. They Greek. Do we need to say any more? Yeah, and that's where Susan Sarandon gets her name. It's from marrying him. Hang on, what was Susan Sarandon's original name? Don't mind me.
Susan Levy.
I'm just going to Wikipedia just to check. Tomalin? What?
That sounds like a cough medicine.
Father was English, Irish, Welsh ancestry. Where the heck is Tomalin from? Her mother's side is from Italy. Interesting.
You sound so
Tomalin. So is that Irish? Anyway, worth checking. Always worth checking.
What were you checking for?
I just wondered. Well, I just realised, like, Susan Sarandon gets a Sarandon from Chris Sarandon, who's Jerry Dandridge. Wondered what she was before Sarandon.
Well, there you go.
Right. Yeah. So we were happy with this fight. Pretty epic. Good times.
I liked it. Yep. Worked for me.
Yeah. I liked that he had a quieter death.
Yes.
Oh yeah, nothing happened really, did he? He didn't even disappear, did he? That's how they were going to justify the sequel. It's like, oh, you killed the head vampire, but you know, David didn't die from being impaled through the heart. He didn't disappear.
We're set up though. Some of them scream and bleed a lot. Some of them implode. Some of them explode, and some go quietly. You know.
Yeah, I mean that would have been stupid for the sequel. Is the
nice setup and payoff. We like it.
Yeah.
We like it.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's just the warm up for the real reveal.
Oh my god!
Dun, dun,
What's
dun.
wrong with your face?
We'd been double bluffed. It's all it's a ruse.
Those are the worst drawn eyebrows I think I've seen in my life.
Drawn?
They look drawn. Are they not drawn?
Yeah, those will be threaded into the prosthetic.
Yeah.
They have to be. They have to be. Buffy, I think, just they don't have eyebrows when they go vamp mode.
Yeah.
Very sensible choice.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is that's kind of a nice twist in our reading. You know, this would be Peter Pan, really only interested in the boy's mother, and wanting her to be the mother for his little clan.
Yeah. Well, he again, that sets up at the beginning. It's like, oh, I mean, to be fair, right? Just saying, when you think about it, Max is the hero of the film because he just wanted good family values. You know, his kids were going off killing people. He didn't want that anymore. And you know, they can't go to prison. They'd overpower the guards. When you think about it, Max was done dirty. Max was done very dirty.
Exactly. Yeah. He just wanted a mother for his boys.
Yeah.
Was that so wrong?
And then they all died for what? Because the leftists took over because of woke.
Yeah, we the fight against him is I don't know, it's kind of nice to see how much power he is that he can just sort of knock everyone else around. But
yeah,
I think we'd sort of already discussed that we felt his you invited me in, therefore garlic is a-okay was cheating.
Yeah, it wasn't even just like he had a reflection as well. Like he was human basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Oh, thank you, TCG, for becoming that sexy guy. We're all appreciating that.
Had to be done.
I think someone actually posted the guy's name. It's Timothy something, who'd been touring with Tina Turner, and you know he's an understandable cult figure because the man has a lot of presence. Reminds me of Till Lindemann, frankly, from Rammstein. Yeah. As Michael Myers is pointing out, the big cat teeth in the background is a good design choice. Yes. Taxidermy in this movie used both for a good repeat effect joke from the quirky grandpa, but also here, the impression of here is, the head of the pride. Here is the chief hunter, the apex predator of the lion next to him, a kind of unassuming guy.
That's a great shot. Yeah, great point.
Yes,
I agree.
Thank you very much, Joel Schumacher. We will remember that if someone is just a maybe regular, normal-looking dude, they might be a predator. Thank you, Joel Schumacher. What did he mean by this? However, how he gets taken out. Do you want to recap quickly, TCG, how he gets taken out?
Oh, God. I've actually forgotten. How bad is that?
No, don't worry about it. It's a busy film. Basically, the Frog Bros try and have a go, and he just bats them away, as you would expect. It felt a little bit Marvel-y, like he's just whacking people around and they're going flying. It felt a bit Marvel movie, but then ultimately he's got darn it, the main character whose name I can't remember.
Michael.
Sam, the little one.
Yeah.
It looks like all is lost, and then suddenly he's taken out by a big truck smashing.
Oh my God! Of course, yes, of course.
And being impaled. So,
oh my God! Yeah, I literally pointed out an hour ago. Yeah, I get. It's
I
weird.
know you did. I know you did.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it that made no sense. It made no sense. Like, how did the granddad why did he crash into the house? Why?
It's kind of slowly set up throughout the film that he is actually a bit of a vampire hunter.
He's not Van Helsing. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying he's Van Helsing. I said he's a bit of a vampire hunter.
So is Van Helsing.
Van Helsing wasn't a bit of a vampire hunter.
I think the thing of my little secret shelf full of root beer is possibly a bit
maybe. I mean, maybe, but again, like, just why? Why? I mean, he obviously knows about the vampires because, again, the last line of the film is "Is there anything I heard?" It's vampires. You know,
it's an incredibly funny line, but my goodness, it is cheating.
Big time. Big time.
How about you, Harry? And where do you stand on this? Surely your EFAT muscles.
Don't get me wrong.
Twitching.
It's a great scene. Like it's a great scene. Like in terms of the action side of it, but I just think.
I'd say it's certainly contrivance more than anything. Because how do they justify the grandpa not being in the house at the time? Don't they say like, "Oh, you need you've got a hot date or whatever"?
That's right. Yeah,
that's it. They lure him out with that.
But if you actually kind of look throughout the film, when he's like at the dinner with Max and things like that, there's a scene where they just focus on him, and he actually just gives him a look as he's leaving, like a suspicious look. I was like, oh,
that's it.
I mean, I've only got this back through rewatching it. I missed it first time I watched it, but also with the car, he says, "Oh, this is as far as into town as I like going," and he goes forward like an inch or whatever. And it's like, oh, he like. Either he's a massive recluse, but he's way too outgoing for that, or as he says at the end, it's justified with, "Oh, I hated the vampires," so he knows it's dangerous. Is what I took, like on a rewatch as we've got today. Like it's still contrived that, like, but mainly the contrivance is the timing and the why does he ruin his own house for it? I guess to save his daughter, but couldn't he just use a bow and arrow or something?
I think it's how would he know?
How would he know? Like and also like
well, this is definitely something. It needs to be established that he's kind of around the house looking for a way in. Or biding his time, whatever. I don't know. Well, why would he bide his time? He knows what's going on. Yeah, it is a contrivance, but it's not like it came out. The only bit that's not a contrivance is that he would try and kill Max. The way he killed Max is nonsense. Is how I'd put it. So it's not as bad as some contrivances can be, but it is still a pretty bad one.
Yeah, I do agree. Like it's not. It doesn't ruin the film at all in the slightest.
Yeah.
But I think what you said about them just
probably knocks a point off. In my mind.
It's just. I mean, it's such a high risk strategy as well. I mean, you're going to take out his entire family.
Yeah,
this is like what you're doing.
It's a type, like it's a bit like playing Helldivers and throwing down a nuke on your teammate and a load of bugs. That's effectively what he did, and it managed to just happen that no one died. So I found it. I laughed for 5 minutes when it happened, but it's nonsense.
Mergoot saying the windows broken, some have blood on them. Yes, that could let you know it's under attack, Mergoot, but would it let you know that you can just drive through this wall in particular and not hit your grandkid?
Yeah, my issue isn't that, how does he know it's under attack? It's pretty obvious they're under attack.
Yeah.
My issue is, why the hell did he go in blind? It's comedy. Well,
Mergoot, are you giving me the Adam and Sitch treatment here?
I mean, to be fair, it is comedy.
It's a comedy vampire attack.
It's comedy that actually has stakes. So yes, they do lose a point for it.
Of course, it has stakes. Yeah, that's how they get the vampires.
I wish I wasn't in a different country to you, because I'd slap you for that.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's tricky when the film is going so far to telegraph, like, we're horror comedy, leaning more on the comedy, really, really leaning on the comedy. By the end, it is basically doing most of it for laughs. And, like the way that, the whole sewage system of the house is imploding. It's okay, right. We're just having fun here, so I can kind of live with it. I can definitely live with it.
I didn't have a problem. Well, it's as you say, like, the vampires die in different ways, and this one dies by turning into liquid and expanding massively. So that's fine. Would it make the sewage system the plumbing system blow up like that? Don't care. It's funny.
It was funny. It was memorable. I like the vibe. Yeah. And then the film, bless it, just ends straight away. I mean, kudos.
Oh, yeah. The film was just like, you watch that now. Fuck off.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, head vampire's dead. What do you want? Get out.
Gets a root beer out. God, I hate vampires. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very well done. Very well done indeed.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any more to add. Film ends. It's pretty good.
It goes out on more great music.
Yeah.
We all have a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why it's a winner. I can see the strong Joel Schumacher touch. I mean, I thought some of the scenes with the Lost Boys reminded me of the bit in Batman Forever, where do you remember a scene of Robin takes the Batmobile out on his own and he comes across ravers who are all painted in glow in the dark paint? I don't know. Some of it reminded me of that.
I need to go back and watch it. I've got it on Blu-ray somewhere. We've got the whole all of them on Blu-ray. Bought them ages ago. Me and my son. We still haven't gone through them, so I need to remind myself of that. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to the Joel Schumacher Batman time.
Mergut has a good take here. The last thing Max hears is La Cucaracha.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, bless him. I liked Max. I thought good end head villain, but yeah, it's nice and good. Michael Myers has a good comparison. Yeah, like American Werewolf. There you go. Ending done.
Yeah.
Like Halloween. Ending done. We're good.
Oh, RoboCop did exactly the same thing.
Yeah, not even just here's a stinger. Here's sequel bait. Just no, we're good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to finish The Sopranos and have the infamous cut to black mid-sentence drop on me.
I mean, even knowing that, it still works. Like I knew it going in as well. It's still good.
Oh, see the Enria's post. There's a theory about the grandpa that he's a half vampire. His root beer stash is blood. He only drinks blood from animals, which explains his taxidermy. My dude, he ain't Van Helsing. He's Blade.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did you have to break your desk to make that announcement?
Yeah, I did.
I can see it. I'd seen that theory. I thought, I kind of like that. It fits in with a bit of theme of like people like Star. You know, we're trying to stave it off. Yeah. I can kind of go for it.
Yeah.
It's nice that you get to read these details in. Yeah. I'm a fan of that take.
I buy that.
I mean, beyond this, folks, you'll know this already. There was talk of a sequel, but that was going to be Lost Girls, but Schumacher did not want to go and make it. He thought someone else should make that script.
He hates women.
And it just sort of disappeared for a while. There was a comic in 2008 and 2010, you got follow-ons based around the Frog Brothers, but Mergu reliably informs me you can skip that. So I kind of like with Fright Night 2, the original is best and you're okay leaving it there. But yeah, I can absolutely see why this was a cult classic. I did not like the first act. You get out of that, and I'm having a very good time with this film. Shall we move into our closing thoughts and scores?
Yes, I think Super Nanny's getting mad.
Definitely, yes. Harry, would you like to go first?
No, I'm joking. I'll go first. So yes, I very much enjoyed this film. Going in completely blind, I could see why people would be confused about the tone, especially with the start, which was on the more serious side. But even then, I'd say around when the grandpa came in, I understood. Oh, there is going to be comedy in this, so I'll enjoy the 80s vibes, the comedy, and the serious side of it as well. It's a good mix of everything I kind of like in a film, anyway. On the objectivity scale, as we've gone through, fair few contrivances, absolute nonsense with the, you invited me in, I'm now basically human. So that kind of takes away from the film a bit. Obviously, again, it's one of those contrivances that made for such a funny scene that I'm kind of okay with it, with the grandpa killing Max. and the grandpa just being general comedy relief with along with the frog kids, who just overly took the vampire killing seriously. Which why wouldn't they? Because of this, I think the main issue is kind of with world building of no one seems to care that people are missing because it seems to be almost a nightly thing. I'd say that's the only major issues I have with it. The rest of it, though, set up, payoff. There's through lines for pretty much everything. Nothing kind of comes out of nowhere and surprises you. Characters are all entertaining. Michael's going through his big existential crisis. Issue with having that existential crisis, and the woman just goes, "Okay, now bang me," which I guess for some teenage boys would work. So fair enough. But no, fun vibes, funny film. Proper Horror Show's wrong. The start's great. Not the best part of the film, sure, but it's not bad. And yeah, I'd recommend it. Definitely recommend it. So I think on a scale type thing, probably. I say too many contrivances for a 9, probably an 8 out of 12 burgers, but they're very cheesy. Dipped in nacho cheese as well, along with dark meat for the dark bits of it. So pretty good. Recommend. One of those films that's objectively a bit, bit of tisms in there, but very entertaining all in all. So I'll take it. Yeah.
Okay, much more positive than I expected. I actually sent a prediction through.
Should we go? Should we
go for it? I think I was off on this one.
Right. Prediction for Haryan 0 seats. Haryan did not get the vibe of this movie. He found the non-serious vibe of the family hard to mesh with the vampires, whose fashion choices were a barrier. He very much disliked the final ending and wondered how the granddad knew. It's very true. He was not interested in the romantic pairing of Star and Michael. However, he'll have been glad that an attempt to define the vampire rules was made. He liked the bridge scene, though wondered why Michael bent to every bit of peer pressure going. Overall, 6 out of 12.
Well, on the peer pressure thing, I know why he bent to all the peer pressure. It was to shag.
Yeah, yeah. I'll take the L on that one, Harry. And I've lost touch with how you.
I think you've forgotten how not autistic I actually am.
Sometimes, though. Sometimes,
yeah.
We need to have you back more often so that Horrorshow can get back in her groove.
Yeah, I've lost the vibe. We've got a very big mix of scores here.
Oh, I can understand that.
I think, yeah, it's a very specific vibe. I think this is going to be the one where we're going to have bimodal distribution here. Lots high, lots low. I think the, how can I say, just Schumacher. There's a certain Schumacher factor that does make me want to downvote, I've got to say. But I'm glad a lot of people like this. I'm also seeing people mentioning that, unfortunately, Near Dark probably suffered because it was released around the same time as this. And yes, it's a real shame. It's a real shame. Near Dark is absolutely wonderful. Before you do yours, TCG, I'll just read out here from Patrick Batman, sending £2 to recommend Dust Devil from 1992 by Richard Stanley. And that is a welcome recommendation. We absolutely loved his colours, The Colour Out of Space. Gutted that he didn't get to make more H.P. Lovecraft films after that. But I'd meant to check out Hardware and Dust Devil. So you've got a good prompt there. Yes, happy to do that. Thank you very much for the £2. And yeah, everyone else, Richard Stanley, it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. TCG.
Do you know what? To be fair, there's not really much I can add to what Harry said. I mean, he was pretty much on point. I suppose all I can really say is that this is perhaps one of the most quintessentially 80s movies out there. I mean, it's got everything, like from your 80s rock, your sexy saxophone guys, the mullets, it just has it all. It just has it all. And it's almost like a little time capsule, if you will, of a time long gone. But yeah, I did have issues like you did though with the first act. Tonally, it was very sort of all over the place. But the great thing about having these conversations is it sort of refines what I was thinking, because I was originally going to go in with like a middle of the road score, but actually having thought about it even more, it does kind of find its footing towards the second act, and there is an identity to this film, which is quickly established. But yeah, there are some little contrivances, little nitpicks here and there. But I think 8 out of 12 is probably a solid score. It's a hard recommendation as well, like a solid recommendation as well, for anyone who hasn't seen it. Just enjoy. It's a good film.
Nice. I feel like technically I would score it a lot higher, but just because I personally didn't connect to the characters as much, that's what brings it down. Like, the Frog Brothers are the saving grace of this movie for me, but I want to really go out there to mention that this does have a gorgeous look. This has got the same cinematographer as Taxi Driver, amazingly. Excuse me. Yeah. Same guy. Which is why it looks so darn good. The effects are absolutely amazing and have, aged wonderfully. And the music was an absolute hit. Like, I know I'm going to be playing the soundtrack from this to sort of for a good few weeks. So, I was going to go for a 7. I've got to bring it up. Yeah, you know what? You got me. I'm an 8 as well.
8 all round.
It's not exactly my vibe. If I were in the mood for this, I would probably hit up either The Babysitter or Fright Night again. But you know what? It's pretty darn good. Yeah, so there we go. We're pretty much aligned, and you guys were all over the place, but some people absolutely loved this. So that is absolutely fine. I think also, you know what? Adam Loves Horror's got a good point here. I think the nostalgia factor will be strong on this. I think there's definitely a nostalgia factor, which is fine because these are all personal ratings. And we were all coming to this quite fresh. Anyway, next week is a special one. Your horror homework is a member request. We are covering a film called The Dark and the Wicked from 2020, starring Candyman veteran Xander Berkeley. Now, I haven't seen it. I know very little about it, but it's a member request and I am excited to cover it. So I want you to look that up. I'll get that in the chat now, just so you know. And forgive me typing.
Oh my God, it's so loud. My tinnitus.
The Dark and the Wicked 2020 is next week's horror homework. I'm delighted that we've actually got it sorted this early. And then after that, crikey, I don't know. For some reason, I'm feeling in the mood to cover Near Dark pretty darn soon. So,
would you cover a Wallace and Gromit film?
Oh no!
What
do you mean no?
That's it. It's on Amazon Prime if you've got it.
Well, maybe become a top tier member, Haryan, and maybe I'll sort.
Give me money, you cheap.
All right. So there it is. Your horror homework is that, folks. Thank you so much for turning up to this very. This was a really good 150 episodes.
I was going to say, congratulations on 150. Small clap. It's pretty good. You nearly double the amount of episodes I've done of Laughing at the Guardian.
Oh, thank you. Well, I hit it up every week. That's got to be how I do it. That's how I make it work.
I didn't realize I had so many fans in the chat.
Yeah,
it's good to see. Don't worry, I'll be back from time to time. Don't you worry.
Oh, we always love having you. And I know I might play you out with. No, I won't do it. We've overrun enough. Oh, go on. I'll play one more thing for you. 1 minute long.
Excellent.
Cinematic, classification, cinematic, classification.
More from the music box.
Well, now, don't you leave for a while. I've got a treat for you cinephiles. BBFC law makes you smile. Detailed like my automobile. Love this bit, you're gonna. 1916 TP O'Connor. Banning blasphemy and marijuana. All activity that'll cause dishonor. Well, if you listen up, you're up to date. BBFC about to fascinate. Tyrell as president, he was great. Show y'all how we gonna regulate. BBFC likes to keep it clean. Cutting all content that's obscene. Censor all sounding off your screen. You lethal expansions way too extreme.
Ah, delightful. Delightful. A little treat
Love
for you
it.
at the end.
Amazing.
Ah, good times, good times. Massive thanks, Haryan and TCG.
Pleasure as always. Congratulations
It's
on
always
150 episodes.
Absolutely.
Absolute pleasure. And genuinely, of course, could not have done it without you guys.
How
Absolute
are you
stellar.
only on 5k subs? That's absurd. Everyone subscribe to Proper Horror Show and tell all your friends about this show.
Yes, go ahead, because
And-
YouTube, for some reason, maybe it's something I have said. Maybe it's something I've said.
Maybe. I
YouTube
don't
doesn't
know.
like promoting me.
I could not possibly think of what it could be.
Yes. So, and thanks, of course, to you, chat. You've been generous tonight. You've been lively. You've been hilarious, and make it a very fun stream. Derailed by surf Nazis. You've got your scores. You've got your scores for the Lost Boys. You've got your horror homework, and I hope you've got a lovely weekend ahead of you. I'll see you next week. Thanks, y'all. Cheers.
Give her a shilling, you cheap bat. I hope that got caught.
Do it now.